welcome. It's a beautiful sunny Torontonian day. So there you go. Look, I've got my shades on, got my hat. We have got a little bit of springtime weather, and just check if I can switch this camera. I don't know how to do this from here. Is that working? There we go. So I'd rather sniffle than get a microchip. So you can see up ahead, guys, there is the protest in full effect. We are on a little bit later than normal today, and I see some police officers out here overseeing the proceedings. Whether or not we've got a more larger crowd here this week than last week, I really do not know, but you can hear the cars already making some noise. Familiar face up there on the bullhorn by the looks of things. So we will cross the road, head over and get in amongst the midst of it momentarily. So as you can see, guys, beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in Toronto. There are some clouds coming over right now. They were chemtrailing a little while ago, so whether or not that had anything to do with it. So sorry sir, have I got a clear? Yes I do, I can run across. Here we are, third week in a row, TSP TV, live from Queen's Park at the Toronto End the lockdown protest. So let's kind of go over here. You can see in the foreground now, I'm going to have to take my sunglasses off, I can't see shit with those. And how are you doing? I think that was a little drunk girlie from the first one I come here and did. So nicer weather, nicer conditions than last week. It's a beautiful looking dog there. And it does look as though there are more people than last week. There's Rebel News again there.
As the weather gets up, coronavirus times in the sunlight. They admitted it. Yes, they're telling everybody to stay home. Eat that drive-through. Watch your TV. Don't go out. Don't socialize. Don't get that vitamin D. In fact, vitamin D can help your immune system.
So here we go. A little bit of a larger crowd around, some familiar faces, as I said, and I'm going to be looking out for some of my fellow Toronto YouTubers at some point. So what have we got? 9 folks so far. He's looking pretty good for that.
You can hold them accountable for what they have said. So what did he say? We're opening Ontario, so the protests are unnecessary. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm looking out for you guys. We're gonna have 3-phase plan. Each plan has 2 stages.
But I hope I have your support. Thank you so much.
You can see a lot of guys with cameras here.
2 to 3 weeks. So our stages and phases add up to at least 6 to 9 weeks before opening. And that does not even start until May 19th. But what did he open? Oh, he can go golfing with his buddies. He can get his chef to come to his house and cook his meals. He can get his cleaner to come and clean his house. His pool boy to make sure the pool is nice and fresh. But you can't go to work. You can't open your business. In fact, he was so pompous and arrogant and showed how out of touch with reality and out of touch with his constituency was that he was there to make jokes and say, I want to get my hair cut too. Buddy, we don't want to get our hair cut. We want the people who cut hair for a living and the people who hold us for one. Disconnect from reality that he is showing is because he got a taste of this power. And as we know, power corrupts. And when you have absolute power, it corrupts absolutely. And that is what we are seeing today. Lockdown is being extended for political reasons. This entire economic so-called destruction, the so-called 10% reduction of our GDP, that's Great Depression levels, is targeted specifically to small business. Well, big business is thriving. Small business is dying. This is not an accident. And this is why they keep making excuses to close you down. Let's do the dumb forward math. If phase one, stage one, starts on May 19th, like we said, restaurants, salons, all the small businesses that are struggling the most right now, he said, he didn't even give a date, he said, maybe stage two or phase three. Phase three is 9 weeks from May 19th. How many businesses can survive from March 16th to August without any income? I want to ask you guys a question. How many people here are business owners? How many people? Okay, people. How many of you are having your losses covered by the government during this time? I don't think any of you. And all we're seeing every day is more jobs being lost and more businesses closing down. And they're trying to tell you that you have no choice but to listen to them. They're using threats of fines and arrest if you dare try to go against their dictates and you dare try to provide for your family. Well,
their business is open! Revolt! Keep their business open!
we're getting
If
to that.
everybody did that!
That's what we're getting to. If you guys saw a few days ago, there was a monumental victory, barely reported by the so-called mainstream media. Wisconsin sued in the Supreme Court, and they found extended lockdown of the population a violation of human rights. They overturned it completely, and today in Wisconsin, they are 100% open. Measures. They don't have schools that look like prisons, and they don't have their politicians dictating exactly how they can live their lives. It's absolute ridiculousness. And that's going to get emulated everywhere. In fact, there's already lawsuits at the provincial and federal levels to do the same thing in Canada. And why are they using fear tactics? Because they know that what they are doing is illegal. And they know that if you choose not to comply and you challenge them, their fines are nothing but toilet paper. If they arrest you, they are opening themselves up to lawsuits in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So that's why they are trying to scare you. Business owners, you cannot wait. If you wait and keep waiting
fourth weekend in a row that people are gathering at Queen's Park
you're
to
finished. And if you
defend
guys are
everyone's
finished,
rights and
all the
freedoms,
jobs
guys.
supply are finished. Our GDP, that 10% reduction, 12%, 15% if it goes long enough. That's not a temporary, that's a permanent thing. Those jobs are not coming back. But I guarantee you the government's going to need 100,000 or so contact tracers very soon.
That's horrible.
Pay more
No
than
to
tax
contact
dollars.
tracing.
And if you business owners don't stand up, and you don't do what needs to be done, and it's open your businesses. When the school session starts in September, their new normal will start to roll out. Your kids will be afraid to walk through a doorway unless there's a red dot on both ends and someone there to tell them it's safe. Go now. Is this what you want? Is the threat of a fine worth more to you than the future of your children? I have assembled. We have spread awareness. That was phase one. Phase two is taking action. We cannot sit around and talk anymore. I have started a network of business owners who want to open, who will open, and they will have a unified legal representation. We will have hundreds of businesses fighting the same fight together against the government. They do not have the power, they do not have the legal authority to do it. Everything they are doing is illegal, and they are getting away with it because people will not speak up, and people will not do anything. If I come to your house and rob you blind right in front of your face, and you choose not to do anything, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to tell you 2 weeks, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. You guys understand what's happening yet? Like, I understand at the beginning, it was easy to believe your government had your best interests at heart. But at this point, when they're making jokes about you losing your businesses, when they don't even respect you enough to give you a date, when they come up with these ridiculous plans for your children that you know are designed to produce robotic, unthinking, unquestioning, completely spineless slaves for the new world. If that's what you want for your family, then call me crazy, think I'm wrong. But if you guys want to stop this, it starts with the small business owners. You guys are the front line. This is war. Think of war. You guys are on the front line. Yes, some of you are going to get shot at. Not literally. I mean metaphorically. But that's how this works. And we will be there to support each other. Nobody is going to get left behind. If anybody chooses to open their business and they come on with a fine, call me personally and I will be there. I will send a lawyer. I will help fund your fight. I will make sure everybody has a voice and everybody can say no. When you know something is wrong, you are obliged to say no and not comply. If you comply, you're saying this is okay. Like, is this okay? Do everyone here think this is okay? Thank you. Who is the government to decide what is essential? You're scared, or you're rich and you don't need to work, then by all means stay home. You're not at any risk. But if you, like the rest of the people here, want to live your life, want to go to work, or need to go to work, that is your human right. You understand? It's a right. A right cannot be suspended by the government. A right cannot be taken by the government. It is not granted by the government. It is your human right, no matter where you are, anywhere on the planet. When we allow the government to dictate who is essential and who is not, when you allow the government to pick winners and losers, we all lose. I hope you understand that. Let that sink in. You do not want them to have that power over your life. And that is what they want. They want small business gone. They want everybody working for large corporations or having a government job. And they want the rest of you on a universal income where you can barely make ends meet. And those checks are going to come with strings. Strings that look like vaccines. And strings that look like tracking apps. And maybe even worse. But we won't even go there. The bottom line is, everything is based on a lie. A lie that we have proven is not even an issue. There is no curve. There is no threat to the hospital. There is no threat to us. We have 5,000, 5,500 dead. The flu kills 8,500 every year. That's right. Imagine we decided to lock our kids in prisons and make them stand on bots every time somebody got sick with the flu. Imagine we put on the news every time someone died of heart disease. Do you know what the numbers would look like? They're treating this like an NBA All-Star game and showing you guys statistics on the TV to scare you, to keep you frightened, because everything they are doing is illegal and everything they are doing is based on your compliance. It's time to start complying, and it starts with opening our small businesses. If you see any business that's open today, they are jam-packed. People are dying to go. They're not afraid of the virus. They're afraid of the government. Do not be afraid. We are all here for each other. We are all in this together, not them. We are against them. And any business owner here today, come and talk to me personally, and I will add you to this network. And we are going to come up with our opening day. Mr. Doug Ford, and once we open, we're open, and we're not going to adhere to your social distancing measures. We're not going to have our children waiting around on little red dots and eating their lunch at their desk in their classrooms. their friends. No, we're gonna have picnics. We're gonna have barbecues. We're gonna have business. We're gonna have our old normal. There is no new normal. You understand? It's simple. It's time to get us all back to work, and it's time to get all this bullshit behind us once and for all. Thank you.
Let's go win!
Thank you, very good speech. Very good speech, thank you. You are? What's your car? No, it doesn't finish. I don't think. That was really perfect. I'll say for diving.
Oh, I know.
They can get it. Excuse me.
Vaccines are not one size fits all. That's why science. The best defense.
Which I actually, yeah, all of it.
Is overwhelming. Not scary. Propaganda. Why do you think the whole world for health advice? The media does not trust your authority. Why are they showing we have to change? Our protests are happening worldwide. Does this kid not deserve a fair spot? You're moderating?
Consent.
On all platforms.
Do not take the vaccine. Power of the beast, baby. Power of the beast. You got that?
Did you hear this thing?
How are you? Beautiful. What's your name? Say one line on about you while you're here.
Your freedom.
Yes!
I love it. Okay, I was saying a while ago, I'm like, I'm gonna walk the streets. Free hug. Free hug.
This is how we raise our voices. And this is my flu shot. That's all I need. I know you want to hug.
I do want to hug, darling. I'm waiting in line. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. So why are you giving out free hugs? Tell us.
Free hugs, why? Because when you operate in a state of love, you can overcome anything. When we are in fear puts us in a worse state of immunity.
That's
what
right.
they want us to
And we're
do.
being repressed in a state of suspended perpetual fear. People like you, there should be more hugs going on. We should all be high-fiving. What about you? Do you think we need more hugs in the world?
Definitely hugs. Well, the immune system in general. We're made
Exactly, that's how we did. Years ago when we caught chicken pox and things like that, the mums put the kids together, get it out of their system, build an immune system. Staying at home, that shit's gonna make us sicker in the long run. Not in the body, but in the mind. And that's what we're doing. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Keep the fight for freedom indeed. Check me out, Thrift Store Prepper, YouTube. You're live right now around the world.
Perfect. We're here for freedom.
Indeed, and we're here for freedom, not just in Toronto, but everywhere, guys. If you're watching this in America and the UK, these people are standing with you. These aren't here just for Toronto people. These are people here that care about your freedom. I am. Hey, I've been looking for one of you. I saw the hat. How are you doing? Good to meet you at last.
Filming some of the speakers right now.
Yeah, I was just here filming the guy. I was just checking the
That was Johnny that was before, right?
Yeah, okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're part of a YouTube Toronto community. You got your camera up here, much nicer setup than me.
1,000.
Yeah, look at that, man. That's how to do it. I just got a phone on a selfie stick. So
We just came in from Milton. This is the fourth Saturday here.
fourth Saturday, right? Milton, and that's a little bit of a travel for anybody.
It's just west a bit.
But still, it's not like local proximity. You can just jump on a
People
streetcar.
that are coming from Shelburne, Coburg, you know.
That's
I hear
right.
People that are around me that say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up." Never show up. So I'm glad to see people coming from.
That's right. I mean, this is my third in a week. I've been doing live feeds since I come here.
Last week.
And that's right, and this is what it's about. Like you mentioned that people can't make it here. Maybe there's reasons. Maybe they don't even have the bus fare to come here. Maybe they didn't have a cup of coffee this morning. And that's where we come into it as YouTubers, because we can be the eyes and the ears for those. Not only that, we've got the mainstream over there that are going to portray us like a bunch of idiots. We can provide hours of footage that contradicts that narrative. We can present how it is, how it was by the people that are here.
That's why this is growing every week.
Exactly, and this is why, like these YouTubers, we need to stick together. We need to link together, share and support each other. So I'm great to see you, man. Hopefully we'll catch up a little bit later.
When this talking still find it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a smoke by the tree. Good to see you, man. So there you go, guys. Already the community. There's an interesting little outfit for you if you're looking Aztec, which you're probably not. But lots of people here. The weather is indeed a little bit kinder than last week. If you watched last week, we had snow, we had rain, we had sunshine. God knows whatever it was. It was like the all season in one day. But this guy up now, he's very, very interesting. Not sure if you can hear him or see him. But as you can see, the sunshine, the warmer weather has brought a little few more people out. Check this guy's ride. That's a sweet ride. Can you see it over there? I'm not sure if you can see it in the distance. So this is a little bit at the back end of the crowd. People do want to congregate and listen.
And there's another group, the Anti-Censor Coalition in Switzerland, who have been interviewing Soros. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. Well, they've been at it for 40 years. And he's been
No one's talking about that. We have to keep the agenda. Please understand. Everything the media tells you is to fit the narrative.
Like the
What's
ones
the
that are wearing
narrative?
masks.
This is the worst thing that ever happened to humanity. Are you kidding me? This is the worst thing that ever happened to humanity?
You're
gonna call CNN and you're gonna say the only other time the CNN was closed during the Second World War. So this is as bad as the Second World War? Are you kidding me? Come on. We need to wake up, guys. We need to rise up. People need to unite. I'm doing my best to connect with as many new people as possible. At this point, I do my best to wake up with new people, but I'm just connected to the ones that are already awake. And this is our responsibility. We need to connect with awake people and create a huge unity. I want to see mass public here next Saturday. The hashtag is See You Saturday. This is the hashtag, See You Saturday. Post it on all social media, See You Saturday. Today I wanted to create a kids event. Kids have to play together. Kids should not be subjected to be in prisons. They should not be subjected to be fearful and scared. We need germs exposure. Kids need to have germ exposure. Otherwise we become plastic bubble kids. I refuse to raise my son as a plastic bubble boy. I refuse. No new normal. 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 Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We the people opening the city. We the people will open our country. The government is going to tell us what to do. If your business wants to have a strict regulations, maybe you shouldn't open. Trust me, enough people will come to your business without the strict regulations. Enough people feel healthy and safe to be outside. This is our fourth week, guys. Nobody's sick. There's no overflow in hospitals. Hundreds and hundreds of people together. You know what they said yesterday in a briefing of the province of Ontario? They're considering allowing 10 people to come together. They're considering 10 people to come together. Hey, Doug Ford, look out of your window!
Serious? He's caught it.
Hey, Troy, please, stop, say hello. I'm gonna give you a hug, even though I don't like you. I'll still treat you like a human. I'm not gonna treat you like a, infected fake person. What the hell is that? Huh?
They should use for all the
Yeah, cheesecake. Who wants to make cheesecake? We're gonna have a Ford competition for cheesecake. Apparently Ford makes a good cheesecake. He made a laugh last time about it. They're making this as a joke, guys. Like, can't you see? They're treating us like kids. You're gonna tell me what I'm supposed to do? You're gonna tell me how I'm gonna treat my health?
How interested are you in
And then we went to the hospital except the accident on the bicycle. Like, I don't even renew my OKIP card. Like, enough is enough. I'm not your patient. The dealer tells me I treat you all as your patient. No! You're not my doctor. Look in the mirror. Like, I don't want to get personal, but some people doesn't look like they've been outside before the lockdown. And you're gonna tell me don't go outside? Come on! If you don't represent health in your whole being, please don't educate me about the health. Like, enough is enough. Look at the people giving health advice. What's going on? And it's fine, I know everyone has their own battles, but if you're going to tell me this is the only truth, coming from you, and you don't represent health in your well-being, I don't think so. I'm going to take a second opinion and a third opinion if necessary. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Very important thing I want to discuss, guys, but very, very serious. Contact tracing. Chris touched on that, guys. I really need you to understand. Contact tracing is a very serious matter. Contact tracing is a marketed term for surveillance. Okay? Contact tracing, especially in the States, been heavily programmed already. They're hiring about 100,000 people in the States to do contact tracing. They're paying $52,000 to be a contact tracer. Let me tell you what's a contact tracer. Contact tracer is SS Nazi officer. I posted a picture on my Facebook. Somebody didn't like it. They said, like, don't compare Nazi Germany to what's going on right now. Why not? It's not going to be exactly the same. The history doesn't repeat itself exactly. But the signs are all there. There's censorship and propaganda. They're taking away the guns. Whatever is your mindset about the gun ownership, the way it was done was illegal. There was no democratic process created for that law. It was a legal law. And when people are being forced to give up their guns because the government is going to come and enforce whatever they want and people don't have a right to defend themselves, that's what you need to understand. They don't invest money into fighting the illegal guns. That's the problem. People are getting killed by illegal guns, not legal gun owners. You need to understand the difference. Then they're going to come and they're going to forcefully do a test for you. This is what contact tracer will do. They're going to come into your house and they're going to force a test on you because they need to monitor the spread. Yesterday, Dr. Tam, guys, please understand, yesterday Dr. Tam said word for word, contact tracing is a cornerstone of the public policies going forward. I'm going to repeat, a federal level doctor that's dictating the public policies for 38 million people saying contact tracing is an additional aspect going forward of all the public policy. We do not allow that. If you haven't seen already, in 2010 there's a documentary, government documentary called Outbreak. When the government tells you they were not prepared, 10 years ago they already made a documentary. Dr. Tam in that documentary says openly, without fear, that she feels great about coming into your house. She feels great about taking people out of their own houses and isolating them. This is called forced confinement. They're not even going to allow you to stay in your own home. They're going to forcefully take you out of your own house. She said that 10 years ago. You think it's not going to happen now? Enough is enough. There's a website called firetam.com. firetamp.com. It has like 40,000 signs already. It's run by Rebel News. Rebel News is the only outlet that's been coming every week and supporting us. Go to the website, firetamp.com. Sign if you haven't signed already the petition. She must go. She was put there on purpose. Now, yesterday Trudeau said also that contact tracing is essential for travel within Canada. Are you kidding me? Contact tracing is essential for travel within Canada. Let me remind you the Charter of Rights and Freedoms of Canadians. We have a right to move in this country freely without restrictions. Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom. We have a right to move freely in this country. You should not wait for to be allowed to go to your cottage. You should not wait for permission to go to your cottage to have a seat in this country.
You don't need permission!
This is blatant violation of Charter of Rights and Freedom. We're going to sue those government. In Calgary, they actually sued already. They're suing the provincial government of Calgary, of Alberta, as we speak, for violation of our Charter of Rights and Freedom. Guys, it's starting. People are united. People had enough. We're going to fight. We're going to open our country. The government can sit down. The government can sit the hell down. We're going to open our country. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. So next Saturday we're going to continue with kids event. My thing was to make sure to have a kid event, guys. We have quite a few kids today here. I was happy to see kids running around. We have some gift bags. People donated the money. It's amazing. This is what we need to show to the world.
Yes!
This is the last thing I'm going to say, guys. It's our responsibility to the world. Not even to our country. It's responsibility to the world. A lot of places don't have this opportunity to come together. When I posted a picture of the Nazi officer with a police officer, it wasn't necessarily for Canadian police force. They are present here, and thank you, Canadian police, for keeping us safe. Thank you. But it's happening all around the world. If you haven't seen the videos from Australia, if you haven't seen videos from United States, if you haven't seen videos from United Kingdom, people getting assaulted with their children in public. It's disgusting. It's revolting. Are you kidding me? Like, we can't allow that to happen. Yes, so this is our responsibility to the world to have this every Saturday. Please reach out to at least 10 people. Your responsibility to humanity to bring 10 new people next Saturday with children. That's your responsibility for humanity. We need to have celebration of life every Saturday with music, with kids party. I want to hold a prayer. It doesn't matter your religion. People coming together as community celebrating the life because we are not afraid. We are not afraid.
You're not afraid!
We are not afraid. No new normal.
No new normal!
No new normal. No new normal. No new normal. Stay happy, guys. Love you all. We'll see you next Saturday. Continue celebration of life. Love you all.
I do not consent! Yes! Woo! We're gonna party, people! Work on my name.
And then a month later, that's what kids
It looks like 4 floors. Like, why is this many people or they're dying for lives and just texting
Right in there.
I used to love it, but I couldn't drink it much because it causes cancer. But now I've been drinking it because it has speed on, which has the water that has green on, and so it's great to have green on. So now I drink it all the time, and I'm loving
Hello everybody, how's it going? Extremely happy to see everybody here today. This is my first time at this one. I've been across Canada for a while now. Hello? Tyler? Hey. Hello everybody, how's it going? How you doing? Mine's gonna be short and sweet, but I need everybody to listen up. Absolutely everybody. Everybody. All right. Do you want a 15-minute speech or do you want the truth? 15-minute speech or the truth? Here it comes, all right? The truth, guys. I'm here to represent the Canadian Revolution. Some of you guys have heard it, some of you guys haven't. We're almost at 200,000 strong from the website to the group. Lately, we had to shut down the group for posting stuff. You know why? Because we have a whole bunch of trolls trying to interrupt our revolution. You understand? Now, here comes the truth, and I hope you can handle it. This is not to undermine any other group here, but everybody has to listen. Even Chris. Great speech from Chris. Great speech from the other two guys. But guess what? We are absolutely nothing if we don't unite as one. You understand that? We have to show up in numbers. We have to show up in the same damn message. You understand? You see the law enforcement behind us? They got the same kind of family going through the same struggles. We posted July 1st. July 1st is the end the revolution will take. We are going to Ottawa, and that's it. We are protesting until Ottawa steps down. Step down. All politicians, step down. You guys want to know the problem? It's not Trudeau. Trudeau is not the problem. He's a puppet. Doug Ford is not the problem. The problem is right in front of me right now. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? The system is broken and each and every one of us knows it. That's right. You can shake your head on that. The system is broken and every single person here knows it. And guess what? The system won't be fixed until we drain Ottawa. United we stand. Divided Trudeau destroys our country. Do you agree? Who can remember the Canadian Revolution? Now some people might be confused. There is protests just like this happening on May 29th, June 30th in Ottawa. We've had enough. I am going there with all the Canadian Revolution. If you want to join, you'll unite right now and join us. This crowd right here, every single person has an electronic device with social media. Do you know what the most powerful weapon is in the world right now? It's not the atomic bomb. It's not Donald Trump. Social media. Every single person here right now can get on and repost, copy and paste the Canadian Revolution or whatever group we want to stand behind, right? And unite hundreds today, go viral tomorrow. If you want the change, you will do that. United we stand. United we stand. United we stand. United we stand. Let's do this. Hey guys, I don't have a speech, but last weekend when we started the national anthem, I thought it was pretty cool. So can we do it again? All right.
appreciates. If anybody had COVID,
Well, hello. Come on, give me a hug. Awesome. I'm good. Say hello to everyone. You're live right now.
Hello there.
It's Emily, guys, from the other day, another fellow local YouTuber. Excuse my crudity of my setup here. This is what Shit Video Productions is all about. There's a lot more people here today.
There are.
And
Looks
also,
like a nice crowd here today.
yeah, the good spirit, the good message, the good sense.
Sorry, it's my first time. Is there more than last time?
Yeah, quite a few more. I mean, last week we had the weather to contend with as well, and that kind of dampened stuff. And yeah, this is my third week, and each week I feel okay. Well, you've got to pop your cherries sometime. You know what I mean? So, what brought you here today, if you don't mind me asking?
sorry?
What brought you here today, if you don't mind me asking? Like, I mean,
honestly, I wanted to see. Am I being recorded?
yeah, do you mind?
Oh no, I just had no idea.
No, sorry, you're currently live on YouTube. Say hello.
I had no idea. Hi. I came late to this. It's my first time.
Okay.
I'm here for every reason that you see on people's posters.
That's right. Now, you were like a business owner. Have you been affected as a non-essential personnel? Were you
No,
suffering?
well, I work for myself. And
Okay,
what
so
I
that's
do
good.
is very close to people. I'm a personal trainer,
Okay.
so I cannot be around people.
Right, so you are struggling in as many of the other non-essentials right now.
Yes, exactly.
And it is very good to see that people are coming to these, because the media, if you see them, the snippets on the news, they make us look like idiots. They try to portray us as right-wing radicals that are all about guns, and we're not. You can see here that there are faces of all different colors. There are people of all different ages.
Exactly.
And this is a perfect example of solidarity. This is harmony. This is people putting aside their differences of maybe who they believe in, who they vote for, where they come from. And it's about, like this guy was saying, unless we stick together,
We're screwed if we don't.
we are screwed.
We're screwed.
And the trouble is with this propaganda and this psychological operation, people that are at home, they're tuned into the mainstream, they're being brainwashed.
Exactly.
They don't understand that they're mind controlled.
Yes, I know. And part of the being locked down is mind control as well.
Exactly.
It's breaking us down psychologically.
It really is. And
That's what they're trying to do.
this is the true nature of the beast, the
Yes,
lockdown,
I know.
because
and it's all been written.
people may not get sick as a result of viruses, but they're going to get mentally sick.
Exactly.
And I've seen on like my social media feed, people that you would never in a million years think that they would be putting stuff about cutting their wrists on their social media posts, about how depressed they are.
Yeah.
And this is because they're good, wholesome people. They've probably never been incarcerated or locked
Exactly.
up to understand
Yeah.
the psychological effects of imprisonment.
Yes.
And it's perpetual. Since
Yep.
this started, each and every day the fear intensifies. The people are absorbing this shit.
Absolutely.
And-
And honestly, like I have said before, I've said to people, even when people call me a quack, conspiracy theorist, whatever the hell they want to say, I still feel like I'm still going to go out and fight for you too.
Exactly.
Even if you don't believe it, let me just be the person that inserts myself and looks like us. Right?
Well, yeah, that's right.
I don't mind doing that.
Well, the term conspiracy theorist itself and the tinfoil hat, this was a CIA
was
damage
invented. It was a
control.
term
Indeed.
invented by the
Now,
CIA.
for example, let me give you, have you ever cooked a baked potato in the microwave?
No, I don't use microwaves.
Very smart, but I'm pretty sure that you're smart enough that if you wrap that baked potato in foil and put it in the microwave and turn it on, that shit would fry and spark
Exactly.
and electrify faster than the microwave. A tinfoil hat, if they spraying us with microwaves, would fry our brains faster.
Yes, exactly.
It's the misinformation. It's a little example, tiny example of propaganda that manipulates and how people, oh, I'm going to wear a tinfoil hat.
But notice the divide. How
Indeed.
angry people that I've had people tell me, why don't you just go out and get the coronavirus and do us all?
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's very funny. I seen a little post the other day about the Karens of the world. We don't like to derogatory stereotype people, but there are a lot of Karens out there, and they're like, "I hope you protesters go and die. If we don't, we prove them wrong.
I know.
We make them look bad for them,
I
right?
know.
So they're desperate
Yeah.
for us to die.
Yeah.
But I've been here 4 weeks. I've had no symptoms, and I'm pretty sure the people here that I see each and every week coming to this
I'm
have got no
honestly not
symptoms.
afraid of it.
Exactly.
I'm really not.
This is some chicken little Emperor's New Clothes narrative,
Yes,
that they are
exactly.
insulting the intelligence of humanity, and the fact of the matter is that humanity is dumbed down to take this
Oh,
bullshit.
it's so dumbed down.
And the final insult and the final nail in my coffin for how bullshit. Greta Thunberg is now an expert. There you go.
I can't believe it.
This
I
girl.
cannot believe
If she even had a period, I don't mean to be like, and she is now an expert.
I have no idea, but I can't believe it. She's right up there with Bill Gates in terms of being
exactly.
an
She is
expert.
part of the elite. You know,
They're using her.
they are. She's a
using
puppet.
her.
She's a tool.
Yeah, they're
Her parents are
absolutely using
actors.
her.
They're thespians. They're part of the club.
Yeah.
We're not part of the club, just
No,
like
we're
George
not.
Carlin told us years and
Yes,
years
he
ago.
did.
And that guy died in mysterious circumstances.
They always do.
Just like Bill Cooper. Now, real truthers die in suspicious circumstances. The shills like Alex Jones, maybe David Icke, these guys still get to operate.
Yeah, I wonder what is that about?
And that is because I believe that they are controlled opposition. The truth movement after 9/11 exploded.
Yes, it did.
And the reason being because we had the computer generation, we had the internet, we had social media, we can share this shit.
Yeah.
And people within hours of the event are like, wait, that shit doesn't, something's rotten in Denmark. This doesn't sit
You know,
right.
I use that example because I say to people, the same people I find that I have these discussions with, well, it turns into a debate, but that's fine, that they'll use the example of, well, you could be right because no one believed 9/11 was an inside job, and now a lot of people do. I'm like, okay, well, how long is it going to take for you to realize this then? Right?
Exactly.
Like, how long does it take for people to realize before it's too late? Before it's
No,
too
it's
late.
very, I mean, in some respects, we're probably too late because we're in this psychological
Oh, exactly.
operation. But with every psychological operation, they stick to the script. They have a play script. They
Yeah.
maybe change it a little bit, but there's always the fear.
It's
there's
interesting
always
you say that because I've thought that. I'm like, why are these people still able to talk about it? And they just
exactly. So these
question
guys.
everything.
And for example, I'm a no-planer. When it comes to 9/11, the physicalities of aluminum
Yeah.
penetrating steel
Yes, it-
doesn't match up.
Yeah.
But we were led to believe that physical impossibilities were the cause of the collapse of those
Yes.
towers. The planes, the Islamic terrorists on that day, they're the Lee Harvey Oswald. They are the patsy.
Yes, exactly.
Right now, China
Exactly.
is the patsy.
Yeah.
It's China's fault. It come from Wuhan. It was a bat. China is the patsy. We are looking and pointing fingers at China when we should be pointing fingers at our own government.
Absolutely.
And
What's
why-
with all the money being?
Always follow the money.
Yes.
In any psychological operation, there is a chain and of money to follow, right? 9/11, there was a money chain. JFK, there was a money chain. Oklahoma City,
Yes,
Ruby Ridge,
exactly,
Waco,
yeah.
there is a money chain to
Yeah.
follow. And there is a government organization that is in there to gain some funding and something like this. Right now, this pandemic is Chicken Little. It is getting, and this is how, when you break it down, stay at home because of the virus. This isn't how.
Stay at home, save lives.
Stay at home, save lives. Go to the cave. That's where you're going to
Yeah.
save. What happened to the farmyard animals in Chicken Little? They got fucking eaten.
Yeah.
No one got out of that life
Yeah.
because they believed what the wolf is telling us. The wolf is telling everybody now.
Well, they've been telling us for years, right? It was actually my brother that opened me up to looking at things so differently, even movies and TV shows. Like, they're always, all of these things have been like implanted in our brains.
Exactly. It's a subliminal. Like, I'm a little bit of an expert when it comes to predictive programming. There's
Yeah.
probably not a movie in the last 40, 50 years I can't use it as an example
Oh,
of. For
really?
like,
See, yeah.
Soylent Green, 1973, set place in 2022, 2 years from now. Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Soylent.
For me, Soylent Green is more prophetic than 1984 because we are heading to that society of food shortages.
Yes.
I'm not going to give you spoilers. Watch Soylent Green or at least read up about it. And look at Soylent Green in connection to where we are today with the Impossible Meat factories. Ask yourself why there is an Impossible Meat factory in California that has 2 abortion clinics within a few blocks. Soylent Green is people, Beyond Meat is people.
Yeah.
This is where we're doing. They're creating the food shortage. They're starting up in their game on meat, lab meats, plant-based.
Isn't that what Bill Gates invested in?
They're all investigated.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking. Follow the money. This is why little Thunberg, excuse my expression, but
okay. I've heard worse.
Exactly, but she is a vegan activist in the climate cult. The climate change movement, this is the religion for the one world order. This is the Church of Climatology. Her vegan diet is going to be part of that religion. The Beyond Meat fall into play. Follow the money. They're all connected. They're all part of the same thing.
Absolutely, but trying to explain that to someone. We're able to have a conversation because I can take it in and I've read it, I've researched it, I've learned it, right? But talking to someone, oh my God, like I have felt like I'm literally going to get punched in the face right now.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable, the divide.
It's kind of almost more acceptable in this day and age to be a pedophile or a Nazi racist than someone who may be questioning the narrative that we're being given on this page.
Absolutely. Why don't they use these tactics to actually track child pornography instead of tracking us? Like if they can so easily implement all of these things.
Exactly.
Why is all of that other stuff happening?
Because that's their playground, not the playground of ours.
Yeah.
And this distracts us from looking into this. Prior to this pandemic, the Pizzagate, this was starting to go viral. Many people, Epstein, Prince Andrew,
but many people weren't even aware of that until...
Not at all. And this is taking away the Pizzagate.
Absolutely.
It's taking away the Pizzagate. But back to the fiction in the movies, the fiction prepares us for the reality.
Yes.
And when we see these events in the fictitious, pictures in the movies and stuff, when the real events happen, it's like, oh, it's just like the movies.
Yes, exactly.
The Star Trek flip phones.
Exactly.
Right? When we got the little flipper phones, it's like, wow, just like Star Trek.
Exactly.
And that was the comparison. 9/11 was probably the most predicted event in all of history. And you can follow every little piece of tracing and tracking up to the event. Same with this. Contagion.
Absolutely.
The movie, I'm pretty sure on your social media they started this. Contagion is a propaganda movie, and any psychological operation in any war effort, there is the propaganda movie that supports the effort, that supports the narrative. There was a reason Contagion was made. There was a reason that it was made viral.
People are not connecting the two.
Because
Contagion wasn't made after this. Like,
no, it was made in advance. It was preemptive propaganda.
I don't know why people can't connect that.
And the point of this is that when they put this movie in the viral suggested content at the beginning of this pandemic, those that were, it's like a vacation, I'm going to get Netflix and chill. They watched that, they heard what was in the movie, it mirrored what was in the reality, it enforced the narrative, and here we are now. And
I can't watch TV anymore like
no, it really isn't.
I feel like it's like evilness.
Once you kind of see the Matrix, you can never unsee it. And almost everything that we see on TV, if it's news, if it's sitcoms, if it's movies, all of this has a purpose and design in social. Remember Friends in the 90s?
Yes.
Before Friends, did you ever go to Starbucks for an oversized coffee cup latte?
No, I'm not that type of person.
No, but after Friends, Starbucks, they explode. It become overnight.
Selfies.
Exactly, and they're in there. Social engineering.
I don't pay $6 for a cup of coffee.
Exactly. When you can get one for $1 at your local convenience store.
No, I make my coffee.
But the Truman Show is another wonderful example of where we are. And when there are too many coincidences, there has to be a plan, right? That has to be designed.
And this whole this huge thing of the followers. What's not the followers? The influencers.
Yes.
Oh my God! Like it just takes nothing. It takes clicks just for people to adore you and follow you. I don't get it.
Well,
it's adoration. I can't stand it.
Something people also probably don't realize with social media, that it is a dopamine-based. That's what they get you in. The likes, the emojis, all this brings in dopamine into the system. Just like they do in casinos. In casinos, you sit there and you put your coins because you're getting the dopamine, the oxygen.
What is your YouTube so I can...
It is the Thrift Store Prepper.
Okay.
TSPTV.
Let me make sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so I could just keep you... I'm going to come next week, obviously.
Excellent. And this is kind of, as I say, part and parcel of what I do is I'm not monetized. I don't get money from YouTube. I'm trying to spread the message, and this message needs to be heard not just by Torontonians or people in Ontario. This message goes around the world. It's universal right now because we have never seen a global PSYOP like we are now. Before, we've seen PSYOPs in New York, in 9/11, in London, in Madrid. That's been localized to remove freedoms and implement certain measures and changes to government. But this is a global event. And for many years, I've been following the New World Order for 30 years. And when I come into this, the moment, the eye-opening was the cashless society, the chip and pin. 1992, I seen a protest in my hometown back in England, and it was all about the cashless society, the chip and pin. What I saw in a little documentary video, VHS they give me back then, is coming true now. The cashless, the chip and pin, the barcode, the tracers. This is part of the, maybe not the switch from normality to the one world order, but the transition, the social engineering, getting us used to the lineups, getting us used to...
Were you living here when they got rid of the penny?
No, yes, yeah, I've been in...
I immediately just went, whoa, it's happening. As soon as they got rid of the penny.
Do you remember Superman 3? Richard Pryor, Christopher Reeve, 1983.
I am not, I don't watch those kinds of movies.
Right. In Superman 3, Richard Pryor played a computer, not a genius, he worked for a big bank as a computer, putting data in. And he figured and noticed that everybody on their paycheck had a half cent, right, on their paycheck. And as he was on payroll, he removed the half cent from every single one of the employees in that corporation, and overnight was a millionaire. But nobody noticed that the half cent had been removed. Who's going to notice half cent? It's not a big amount of money. But he became a millionaire, and he turns up in a Ferrari the next day. And the only people that noticed it was the CEOs. They're like, hey, someone's stealing the half cents from us, because they want every penny. What Canada did with the penny was Superman 3, because they round up, they don't round down. You do the maths, how many 100 million people in, pennies that are rounded up, that transferred into
like you
pounds.
said, follow the money.
Follow the money. And
Everything
that
they're
was
doing with
exactly
it.
from Superman 3 in the 80s.
Now I'm going to watch that. Superman 3, and then your YouTube channel.
Thrift Store Prepper.
Just make sure I...
Like, the thrift store.
Thrift Store.
Prepper. Way to type.
Thrift Store.
Prepper. Yeah, that's it. TSP TV.
TSP TV. Great. I will get people to follow you too.
Perfect. Thank you very much for
Thanks for talking
speaking.
to me.
No,
I'm sorry I
indeed.
interrupted.
Not at all.
I thought that you guys were friends. That's why.
We kind of are. And she's another YouTuber here in YouTube. And in the last week, since I've been doing these, some local YouTubers have been coming into me. And what you're saying, you're going to get people to watch. This is what we want to do. It's not about supporting me, giving me subs, giving me views. It's about the people here having a message. Maybe people don't want to get up here and speak on the bullhorn, but they have something to say. Maybe they feel comfortable like you speaking on a camera, and your voice can be heard, not just for people that are here. Because when we go home today, a lot of this gets forgotten. But we are documenting and reporting real news as it happens in real time.
And your name is?
I'm Stench Rockwell.
Stench Rockwell.
Yes,
I'm
indeed. Grace, very nice to meet you. You can find me, and I hope I see you around somewhere
I'm gonna come
in
back,
here.
for
And as you say, you've got to pop your cherry sooner or later. Have a good one. Take care. So guys, let me go and find a little spot somewhere to maybe sit down and have a little bit of a herbal medicinal break. So who's here? How many have you got? Thank you to Danny. As you can see, it looks like some of the folks have stopped talking here. I'm trying to read some of your comments, guys. So excuse me. For ignoring you guys. As you know, I did lose a thrift phone. Having a single phone is making this a little bit difficult. Go TSP go. Brilliant conversation. This lady is lovely. Yeah, she is lovely. Under different circumstances, and if I had more than 20 cents in my pocket, I'd offer to go get a cup of coffee with her later. although we're not here to pick up chicks, and it's been quite a long time since I picked up chicks, but that isn't the purpose. As I said, there are lots of like-minded people here. There are lots of folks that are awake here, and I've seen this individual a few times. Hello, nice flag, by the way. Sorry, can I ask you a couple of questions if you don't mind? I've seen you here for the last... Okay, no problem. All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much anyway. So she's here as a journalist, I guess, to document this. This little lady with a tonic water, she has been here for a few weeks at a time. Nancy's getting China's wheel. So yeah, I am going to go try find a little spot where I can smoke. Actually, you know what I can do, guys? I brought my different selfie stick. Does that work? Maybe it does. No, it's not going to work. I'm trying to stick it in the bush. So here we are. As you can see, guys, it looks like most of the more important people have kind of wound down a little bit. And there's one thing I do like about the legality of marijuana. There's a couple of cops across the street looking at me right now. I'm smoking a spliff, so I keep forgetting the camera's pointing on me. I can't see shit with these glasses. They're not real Ray-Bans. They were like $3 from a gas station. That's why they look a bit ratty and shabby. But having, as I said, a little bit of sunshine. I don't know if you can see that there. Excuse me. That is the smoke, and not anything to do with relation to the COVID virus. So here I am, guys. As I said, I don't really normally do facial kind of and don't get any pornographic references or ideas there, but I don't normally show my face on my channel, but I'm just trying to do that so you can see a little bit of who is in the background. So we did catch Emily Pound until that conversation did take over a little bit. I'm going to try and find her again in a little while. So we're also going to try and find some of the other YouTubers shortly and see what they got to say and talk a little bit about the part that we have to play in this this pandemic. And everyone has a part to play. And it's not just about, as I said, about being cool. Hey man, you got to hit the bell, smash the like, subscribe, all that bullshit. I'm not monetized, right? I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this because I believe in the message that these people are trying to spread. I want the people that stand up there to be heard further than just this protest here. And that is a responsibility. There's no fucking mainstream here whatsoever. Last few weeks there has been. Today there is what looks to be a police car over there. That's some kind of surveillance, I think. And you can also see, you know, the police are here. They're not making a nuisance. They're letting people get on. And woo, 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 yeah, man. There we are. They're beeping. They're supporting us. So as I said, I come a little bit away just because I'm having a smoke. I don't want to kind of blow and be a little bit respectful to people that may not appreciate that. But the part we have to play, as I was saying, there's no fucking mainstream here. And what we will be seeing is maybe a few journalists, a few reporters that might take some pictures of this and then spin it and put whatever tarnishing and muck they want to spread on this narrative and portray us in not too much of a uplifting or good light. You know, I'm trying to think of some profound words to say, but I am on the cuff. I am out here live, unedited, unfiltered, reporting real news as it happens. Not like the mainstream media who aren't here, and if they were, they would be misrepresenting what happens. And as you can see, or may have seen from this protest, that there does seem to be quite a lot of like-minded, awake, critical thinkers, not radicals, not yahoos. She's getting very angry. Look at her, man. Fuck you. I mean, you go, girl. What she's saying is right. And sometimes you do have to be, get a little bit angry. And just like, with the dark side of the force, anger will make you strong. And I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyway, when I finish my smoke, we are going to go back in the crowd and see who we can find, who we can talk to if anyone else wants to talk. And that is what I'm saying, giving people a platform, not only to be the eyes in the ears for the people that can't make it to these events, but also to provide the platform for people that may have something to say about what is going on. They may be a little bit shy or upset and don't want to get up there for whatever personal reasons. Now, I did have a little bit of a inclination and thought pattern that I might get up there and speak at some point, but I got to be honest with you people, I'm a little bit nervous and don't want to kind of stutter on the big stage. So there's lots and lots and lots of people here. I'm going to try and find some of the organizers perhaps and have a little bit of a chat with them if I can, do some reporting. Up until now, I've been a little bit of a silent spectator at these events, maybe spoke to a couple of people. But today I'm finding a little bit of my voice. And I think maybe the sunshine as well has lifted the spirits, people a little bit more opened up. That sunshine is great. And I believe there's my little friend from last week. Give me a high five, the old lady there with her sign. And as I said, there's a kid, there are families, there are dogs, there are all sorts here. And it is uplifting. So let me turn you around now. So you've seen enough of my ugly mug. So I'm not sure she should be talking about churches with the profanities mixed in, but I guess she's trying to make her point. So as we said, let's go and have a little walk about in the crowd here. It's actually getting very, very warm. Now I've got a body warmer on that is becoming a little bit not uncomfortably warm, but it's certainly better than last week when in Mississippi we had snow and rain. And there's some Canada is no fun anymore. Don't know if you can read these signs. And that was the sweet ride I was talking about. So there we go. Let me take my glasses off so I can kind of see a little bit better now I'm not there. This is what we're talking about. There's people of all different races, all different ages, families there, coloured girls with their kids coming to look around. Some people are dressed in what looks like their Sunday best, and maybe, the warm weather, they want to get their glad rags on, enjoy a bit. Look, and that girl's got a bit of a dance on, and that's nice to see. So you can see people here are, enjoying themselves. They're not here causing any bother or any harm or spreading hate, lies, or any malicious misinformation. We might have to walk away a little bit because we might get a copyright strike for music. So let's look at some of these signs here. There you go, another family here come out, and that's what I'm talking about. Some people are in their Sunday best by the looks of things. And who knows, we might even get a little bit of a party going on over here. Now, this gentleman is somebody I was kind of wanting to have a little bit of a chat to if I can. And this is me kind of trying to become a little bit more of a news reporter rather than just a silent loner in the crowd recalling this. So I see a couple of people having a cute little dog. I'm not sure if those guys there might be some kind of special undercover police force to make sure there's no trouble. Here are the guys with their guns. Lots of pictures going on here. And, you know, it is a beautiful day. The trees are starting to come to life. You can see a big difference from last week when the snow and the ice was around. And the lady over there in the red, I've seen her week to week here. And as I said, this is the fourth one and the third one I've actually appeared to. And that's nice. We haven't heard so much of the cars today as we did in previous weeks, but maybe that's because they're being redirected or something. Who knows? So there's a guy from the Revolution. Great speech, sir. Thank you very much for what you're doing. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that was a guy. He was from the Revolution. He had some very interesting stuff to say. I think this dude in the hat's another fellow YouTuber or something to do with possibly one of the two guys that I have been interacting with on YouTube over the last few weeks since I have been covering this event live. So as I said, guys, still you can just see all the people that are here and make up your own minds if or not you think these people are yahoos or ridiculous or idiotic and have nothing to say. So no one seems to be around the statue anymore, which has come a little bit of the center point. This is where people are choosing to speak from. Now, I will remind you as well, guys, that if you are watching this and you're unfamiliar with Toronto history, I think it's got some Michael Jackson going on there. That's definitely going to get you some copyright strikes. So let's go over here where it's a little bit quieter and do some more talking. But yeah, this soil here is hallowed soil. This was in fact a battlefield against tyranny in 2010, and this was designated during the G20 summit as a peaceful free speech area where various protesters could come and congregate and supposedly be free from any interference or harassment from law enforcement. Now, on the Saturday of the G20 events, there was a lot of violence, a lot of rioting, destruction to property that was perpetuated by Black Bloc or Black Ops. They were undercover, possibly agent provocateurs working for law enforcement or secret agencies that were put amongst the crowd that day to entice the riots. They needed the violence, they needed to justify the $1 billion price tag that they splurged on the security for that day. Now, after the events had been taken place downtown and around over there, for a few hours, the riots and the violence and the damage took place for a couple of hours. And afterwards, the Black Bloc guys kind of made their way here. But as they did, they removed their black clothing, tossed it on the ground, and then made it into this area where we are now. And this area was a lot more full during the G20 than it is now. And there were thousands of people here on that day that were peacefully congregated, minding their own business. When all of a sudden that peace and quiet was shattered by militarized police officers and mercenary security forces that come in to the crowd of peaceful, innocent citizens and rounded them up and took them to temporary detention centers. So here we are 20 years on. I'm not even sure if it's almost to the day the G20 anniversary will be coming round, where, as I said, this was kind of Toronto's Tiananmen Square, so to speak. And tyranny showed its ugly head to the world that day as we got a little taste of what martial law and a police state look like. So it's kind of, I guess, a little bit poignant and significant that once again the turf and soil of the Queen's Park grounds here, there's the building in the distance just ahead of you. How are you doing? I'm guessing you're one of the local YouTubers we've been speaking to.
Yeah, TSP, right?
Yeah, I'm TSP TV, and you are?
Johnny,
Scuba Dracula, that's what. It's hard to sometimes put faces to names. I think we've seen each other here the last few weeks. And you've been here from the start, right? So
I'm from Hamilton.
Yeah, someone else I was just checking to was from Milton, that you've kind of traveled not ridiculous amounts of distances to be here, but distance enough that it may be a little bit of an inconvenience to your day, right? You know, Hamilton is a 35-minute, maybe 40-minute or an hour drive, maybe a little bit less.
If this continues as we believe it is, they've already said it's going to be the new normal, maybe 18 months. It ain't stopping. They're going to keep pushing this agenda. So if these protests get bigger, I'm going to probably, I was talking to a promoter of some of this stuff, it's going by the Alice and Tony, the Free Nose Patriots, and I might set up one for Hamilton, and I told them I would take lead on it, you know, just to get people going. Because, you know, instead of having to travel, you know, people can locate the areas of the
I agree.
More people might come out and be spread around a bit.
And I mean, this is a little bit what I kind of been talking to you and been in communicado with over the last week, sort of playing Comet Tag a little bit on our videos.
Yeah.
That we have a responsibility as YouTubers. Now, I don't know about you, I'm not monetized. Are you monetized?
No.
So you're
I don't
not.
have 1,000 subs yet. I'm probably pretty close now.
Okay, so guys, this is Scuba Dive Dracula, right?
But I need to live stream my phone. Yeah, Scuba Dracula. Yeah.
So I'm going to put links, and this is a little bit what the YouTubers for Freedom.
Freedom, truth. I'm an activist for truth in general. I question everything.
Exactly,
And if
quite
we're put
right.
off by other things like fluoridated water or NASA fails and chemtrails or vaccine stuff, all this, or flat earth even. Like, I talk about everything. I'm not afraid to talk, question things, because the truth fears no investigation. And that's the important thing to remember. So I don't claim to have the truth of everything, but I am here to fight for freedom and learn the truth.
Exactly, and this is a little bit again the sort of purpose of what I put together with the YouTuber for Freedom Coalition. The you and I, we have messages. No one person can see it all. No one pair of ears can hear it. Anything. We're making a network of individuals like us. As I said, we're not monetized, we don't get paid, this isn't our living, we're doing this because the message we're trying to spread. Now, unfortunately, not everyone can get here, like you're saying, people have to travel. We
have
can
friends in Niagara and Hamilton, they want to come, but it's a little harder for them to make it out.
Exactly, but we can provide the eyes and ears for these people using our channel, using our platforms to give people the opportunity to see this as it is, as it was in real time without any mainstream manipulation.
And you gotta wonder, some of our friends, it's like, you gotta ask them, like, try to get into their heads, like, what do you gonna think when you look back in time? You're not gonna ask, what did you do? Like, you're gonna look back and we'll ask you, what did you do then? And you're just gonna say, the other thing, so it's more, yeah, we're getting out here, we're encouraging people. But at least I can say I did something.
Exactly.
Exactly. You make your voice heard, or you're just showing yourself as a body to show your support.
Exactly, because in numbers, the more of us.
Liberty is our right.
Exactly, and that's what's being dented. And we, sorry, hey, dude, do you want to have us say anything about it? Or are you just happy to listen? So this.
Careful with that shit on your chest, though, man. That radiation, look into it.
Yeah, it's even in your settings if you go into the phone. But this is the beauty about coming to things like this, that we're part of a collective conscious of aware people. Now, I don't know what you're doing in your day-to-day, if you're non-essential, if you've got work or anything like that.
Self-employed.
So you got any work going on at the moment?
My own stuff, yeah.
Okay, so you got an income coming in. Unfortunately, I'm a chef, and I was one of the first. The bars, the restaurants. So it's like 11 weeks since I've had an income or a wage packet. I'm a prepper, so luckily I've got stuff stockpiled for events like this, but not everybody does.
Like that Chris guy was saying too, it's like if everybody just opened up, they can do nothing. Restaurants and stuff, they were just fucking opened up.
If we get common law in Canada, common law, we can hold all these politicians liable. We can bring them in.
Well, again, if we hold a constitution, you know, for ourselves, a constitutional convention, you know, because again, the whole myth is Canada.com, look into it. That we're not actually a sovereign country, and this is giving ourselves power when we elect a digital government for ourselves. You know, true government of honesty, of transparency. Then we truly can start having freedom and take our country back. And I'm just learning about this whole Myth is Canada thing. And there's a Torontonian, I think it's Torontonian. I think he goes by Doug Force, I think it is. He's the guy doing this documentary. Very knowledgeable. He talks on a YouTube channel called Critical Thinker. It's a Canadian channel. I think his name's Leo. I think he's out of Alberta. And he talks to Doug all the time here. But very good for Canadians, for Critical Thinker. It's a good YouTube channel.
Exactly. And this is a little bit, again, what the purpose is. That we sometimes follow YouTubers of our own and we take influence. building that network of information that may give people the opinions and options to think for themselves and judge for themselves what's going on. And this is what I'm saying. What did you do? Well, we tried to help get information out. We tried to spread. We don't really have answers. We don't know the exact results, but we're trying to come together and maybe wake a few more folks up and putting them in the right direction of information that could help them assess for themselves what they think's going on.
It's working, I think, too. This event, this planned event, whether they play their cards early because they're worried about other truths coming out, or it's obviously been planned this group for a long time. But regardless, people are getting fed up. People are starting to wake up just to the deception, the monopolized media, all these types of things. So I think it's a good thing, hopefully, for many people to start.
Exactly, there could be a silver lining that this is the Great Awakening, and I think even sort of like some folks at the beginning that were, fully on board with the official narrative, doing their part. Some of these people were beginning to open their eyes and like, I kind of beginning to see that this isn't making sense and things aren't adding up.
Some officers.
And this is the thing, we probably see some of these police officers over there. Maybe they volunteered to be here today because they can't be in the crowd as a risk.
Surprisingly, one of them said to me last time, I don't know if she knew I was filming or not, but she's like, and I'm going to say the names, she said, I asked her, what do you think of all of this? What are you going to do? You have a family, you're a human being too. And she's like, well, honestly, she's not going to comment, but she said, if this is what you're passionate about, keep doing it, she said. So it was that was kind of encouraging, right?
And that's what I'm saying. And we are kind of here for the ones that can't be here, not just by providing a platform and a channel for people to watch our shit, but to represent them in a body that, every one of us is here probably represents 10, 15 that couldn't be here today. And hopefully by having, collaborating and working together.
As well, I'm sure yourself, you're trying to encourage other people, right?
And this is what I'm saying, you've got a small camera there and a stick. This is what you're making your content with.
Yeah.
I got a phone and a selfie stick. It's not preventing me from trying to bring the truth and report on the news as it is, unfiltered. And anybody can do this. And it's hard talking about 1,000 subscribers. You remember last year that they changed the algorithm on YouTube to make it so you couldn't go live from your phone. That's it. You needed that was censorship. That was preemptive censorship, because if that wasn't implemented, there would be more people here today going live.
They did now too with socializing on live streams. You can't click the user's name
sub for sub
to their to give a sub and support them. You have to type in the names. I think
that's right, and they're doing a lot to try and help grow, because a lot of truthers do the sub for sub, and this is what we're talking about.
To support each other.
We have to support we're in this together. This is our part that we're playing. We're not here for money. You're not here for money. We're not here to be
if
viral.
If wants to support me, I would gladly accept it and appreciate it, but I'm not asking her for money. It's like, I'm active for a lot of things. Like I said, I go out, I spend time, I spend money. It's work. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to spread truth. And
this is it, exactly.
You're saying it's like all of us spreading a message, even just being out here, we're saying to our friends or whatever, even reposting something on Facebook, or going on Facebook comments or YouTube comments and liking those comments and commenting to support people on those comments helps build our community.
Exactly.
Build awareness. We all have to support each other.
And
it just means liking a video. It's simple as that.
Exactly. And the more people that share our videos, and again, this isn't about going viral, it's about the information. And it also triggers algorithms. The more that this gets into the feeds and onto shared comments, more comments, this content gets pushed up the news feeds, and we'll start. Because at the minute we are shadow banned, we are passively censored. I don't know about you, I find something, anytime I upload a video, I'm going to lose a subscriber. Anytime I do a like.
Subs, but I'm not that big yet, so I think I know certain videos only go to a certain number.
Yeah, there's numbers and there's factors, and I did a whole series on what I call passive censorship. And before I went over 1,000 subscribers, it was like they were restricting me. Like 968 was a number; it wouldn't go up.
I've been resonating around there for a while.
968, 958.
1,000 now. Meanwhile,
last week my Facebook Live went viral. 10,000 views before I got home, and I'm up to 14,000 views from last weekend.
Really?
So that's awesome. So. But I did start talking on Facebook last week, kind of on the basis of I think we set up the little group, the Toronto YouTubers for Freedom Coalition. Now this is a group that is designed for you, for me, for any other YouTubers, even yourself. If you've got content, if you come to these events, not just in Toronto, around the nation, or even in the United States, England, post it worldwide, because that is a hub of information where people can come, they can choose to select what they want, how they watch it, and they can see how these events actually played out in real time. And they can see the people here represent a vast variety and a big demographic of society. There's not just one specific stereotype. People of all walks of life, ages, and backgrounds.
Nice with this too is there's a message to be said, but there's also showing people we're not afraid, right? I'll get together.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. It's my good buddy, Tommy Rogers.
Good to see you. This guy looks like a rock star. You've got some stories to tell. Give me a high five.
I've got some horror stories.
I bet you have, man. I'd like to sit down, smoke a spliff, and drink a beer with you.
Here, let's do it right now. What? Fuck, man.
We're all in the same boat. I mean, that's.
This is live fucking. You know, this is fucking. See that? This is shit that's gotta go. Okay? High treason, man.
It is high treason. He's becoming a dictator, right?
This is a de facto Castro fucking kid.
Exactly, he is, and that's what he's doing, turning Canada into a bigger Cuba.
Yeah, he's taking his own little fucking Cuba in his backyard. He's got another thing coming. Wait till the fucking cage gets unloosed and we're going to be coming after all these fuckers. All of us will be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The more and more.
Take this whole shit show, this thing we call it upside down, right? And throw it all in the fucking garbage. Right? They're a bunch of lying criminals.
Exactly.
So what am I going to have to do? Why do I have people like this in my life? I don't. Figure it out.
Exactly. Anyway, it's some great stuff.
So
let's have a little pan around. I don't know if people. It is. You're live on YouTube right now. So
that's what I'm talking about. Tommy Rogers, RODGERS, on YouTube.
Just gonna say quickly, brother. One of the destined teenagers, I think 15 to 18 or so.
With John.
It's cancer, brain tumors. And that's the reason cause of that is self-harm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I was talking to a couple cops earlier, and they told me they were glad we were here.
Yeah, and we were just saying that a little bit earlier, that maybe some of these guys that are here standing on patrol,
for their rights as well as their kids' rights.
when they go home at the end of the day, that uniform comes off and they're people just like us that may...
Their kids got to go to these schools. They're going to try and turn into goddamn indoctrination cops. And this is why we're fighting for these police guys.
The guy that originally started that movie, just before he published it, he was killed. Him, his wife, and their little girl were assassinated in their home before Christmas. And then the Christmas presents stayed on the door until January when the neighbor realized the Christmas presents on the doorstep. And then the neighbor looked through the window and seen their bodies laying on the floor. And his friend publicized the movie after he was deceased.
Wow. What was the conspiracy? It's called
Conspiracy Theory.
And what was the name of the guy that died? You know? Can you remember?
Yeah, David something or other, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same. I can never remember names. But I'm guessing if you find Netflix Conspiracy Theory, you'll find the guy's name. So. And this is again a little bit what we're saying, that the little bits of information that we can all bring to the table help paint a much bigger picture.
This needs to go up on every street corner.
Yeah, that would be a great little poster campaign. No, that's good. I mean, as I say, we're trying to be here to hear what people have to say. Thank you.
I think it's good that you do the prepping.
They like just about everything. That's what I'm getting at. I'm into the mud event stuff. You know, the history books are a total lie. They've also got online. You know.
But with the prepping and like I started learning about nutrition over 7 years ago, learning cures for diseases and stuff, which I really got dove in deep. I had personal issues. I started to research research plant-based diets and understanding the healing benefits of nature, and that allopathic medicine in hospitals are, basically they're there to treat you as opposed to heal you. And so prepping and being prepared, but also understanding the body, what's important for you, understanding what you can save, and, proper water, pH balanced water, understanding alkaline water, it's anti-cancer, but there should be a limited amount of use. I think distilled water is you shouldn't use too much of it personally, but that's my personal opinion. A natural balanced water, but understanding health, understanding how to prep, how to be prepared for stuff, that's important to know, man.
Exactly. We're trying to fuel the mindset the best we can so that people can arm themselves. And had I not been a prepper, had I not, taught this on my channel, I'm practicing while I preach right now. I'm living off my preps
and stuff like this.
Partly why I prep is because of this. I've been following the truth or conspiracy movements, whichever you want to label it as, since the early 90s. And stuff I started seeing and learning about in the early 90s is coming into play now. And is that by chance or coincidence, or was it part of the design? 1984. Funny enough, the movie was filmed just outside of my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I read the book multiple times.
But right now, it's also A Brave New World. It's another one, right?
Well, funny thing about Huxley, H.G. Wells, and Orson Welles, what's his name? George Orwell. They were all Masons.
Oh, yeah.
And they all had connections to...
Sorry. Freemasonry, and a lot of times there's good and there's bad, right? It's not all one side. And we know at what time frame, because eventually I think all these prophets were probably Freemasons at some sort, right? But,
yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why they got delved in, because they knew something we didn't. But again, you're a truther. You kind of have an open mind to explore possibilities.
Everything assumed.
What if, just as a possibility, there's a flux capacitor, 88 miles an hour, they can get themselves to and from in time.
Right.
What if someone went back to the 1800s, said, hey, Orwell, write this.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions, just write it. It makes sense in 100 years' time.
The Dean Koontz book, do you know what that was?
Yeah,
written in 1981. I think it's, I forget the name, Eyes of Darkness or something like that.
Yes, I did a little thing on that a while ago. And they talk about 2020, the pandemic that stays dormant for 10 years, and it comes back in 2030, falling conveniently in with the 2030 agenda twice.
And there was a song in 2013 by an artist called Dr. Creep. Check it out. It's called Pandemic. Literally talks about coronavirus. Yeah, I told you about this. Coronavirus 2020 world pandemic. It's just like, are you kidding me? You can't write this shit.
No, exactly. Well,
7 years
another little thing that I'm a specialist in is the predictive programming, right? The predictive programming. Fiction prepares us for the reality, right? And we see it enough subliminally. When we see it in reality, it kind of doesn't jump out is a thing. 9/11 was an event that was very, very predicted. Before we go, so listen, let's have a little.
Guys that spoke here, announce where you belong and then chants United We Stand. Before we leave, it's almost 3 o'clock.
It's okay. Looks like something's going on here.
Hello, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Hey, we need everybody that spoke today up here at the front. Whoever spoke, and whoever belongs to a group, a leader of a group or a website, we need you up front.
Okay, they're trying to congregate people. What are they going to do? A big 420 puff type thing? I don't know. I know, but anyway, it's a little bit like we were saying. Oh wait, he's going to say some things there. So let's stand back, guys.
Anyone who spoke who wants to come up here, we're just going to get a shot with everyone.
Hey, Chris.
So listen, guys, I'm going to go have a little wander around.
It might be more problematic.
And see what's going on. I'll catch you guys in a little while.
Pleasure meeting you, bro.
You too, man. Scuba Dracula, right?
Yeah.
Okay, check Scuba Dracula out, guys. I'll try and get you links for this there. So let's go and have another little bit of a walk around, and we'll come back in a second and see what's going on.
Would somehow be exempt from not only that risk, but maybe potential.
American flag there with the free hugs girl. So some interesting stuff there. And as I said, guys, that's what we're trying to talk about. That's what we're trying to do. Unite people, provide a network of information for individuals to feed their minds, fuel their minds, educate themselves, see what's going on, see what's happening for themselves. And, you know, we've been here, what now, an hour and 34 minutes of unfiltered, unedited, honest broadcasting of a real news event or newsworthy event. And you can see there's no sign of anybody remotely close to mainstream. You know what, that was a little rock. I had to sit down a while ago, so I'm going to kind of get myself over here and sit on the rock again. I'm not going to smoke or anything, but I've been on my feet for a while, and we're experienced this event from afar. So there are some very interesting people there. I think the young lady I was talking to earlier is hiding over there behind the Canadian flag. So people do look as though they are maybe slowly leaving, and that's nice to see there. Look, guys, we've all their chairs, they're sitting out, a sunny day, a little family there. They're not getting sick, they're not getting out. There's another couple of young kids there walking by, you know, and they're probably having fun, being outside, you know, having some time with maybe friends or other children, some fresh air, some vitamin D from the sun. Now, it's not exactly sit out in suntan weather, but trust me, guys, that is a very, very, very welcome change. So we got 20 viewers, man, and 20 thumbs up, although I just noticed it went down. Let me try. It's very difficult to read your comments because of the sunlight and the screen going on. Excellent coverage, TSP. It's a small town I live in. Anyone born and raised, so thank you, Judy. So I can't really read all of your comments word for word, but I can kind of see Nancy's here. We've got Judy Bell, Danielle, of course, born and raised. So good to see you, brother. So this has been probably a lot more enjoyable than the previous two as an experience, because I think as well, another thing that you've got to take into consideration is some of these people, they've been here for the last few weeks like myself, and now they're beginning to sort of introduce themselves to each other, talk to each other. I mean, I haven't talked to many people prior to today, and today I almost can't shut people up, and that's good. I want to give these people a platform to voice their opinions and maybe become part of the community. So interesting stuff there, the buses. So that is a little bit interesting that we haven't heard as many as the car horns as we did last week. Okay, guys, I'm glad to see Scuba Drivers, Scuba Dracula's getting some subs, and you're going over there. Be sure to tell him that TSP TV sent you. Let's start showing the support. Let's start linking. Maybe Scuba Divers people will come and join us. In the thrift store doors are always open to newcomers and like-minded folks. I don't know if you've got any newcomers and like-minded folks in the chat today who are watching, but again, this is my third week in a row that I have brought you live. I'm not sure if it's live and exclusive content of this Toronto lockdown protest, but here we are, and as I said, today just getting out, talking to a few people, listening to what individuals have to say, feeling the sunshine and the warmth as really, you know, it's been a good reason to come out here for that alone, but as well to kind of stand up for maybe what we believe in. We're just talking about cars not beeping, and there we go. There was a car and another one kind of honking their horn in support. So personally, Trainer Girl was delightful conversation. I might try and call her over and have a little bit more of a chat in a moment. This is for sharing this, and that's something I need you to do, guys. What we were just talking about with Scuba Dracula there was share this information, because the more times you put these videos out on your social media platforms, the more people get to see this, the more times it's going to be suggested content. for others to see. And the more people share this, the more people may see it and become awake and see and realize that we're not idiots, we're not conspiracy theories, we're not cuckoo, batshit crazy yahoos. We're educated, concerned individuals that together are becoming a collective conscious and a force of a voice of reason maybe. And we're trying to come together, join together, collaborate, become a coalition, and a coalition for truth, for information, that you can all see for yourselves what went on here. Whether or not you agree with the thought set and the mindset of the individuals here, maybe you're against it and you're just here to watch it in ridicule. But we're presenting this as it happens, as news, because nobody else is reporting this as news. And the only news you will see on this will shed us in an extremely good light. There's Scuba Dracula there walking by, awesome to see. And as I say, you know, we feel like we're building chains in our armor. And a lot of YouTube truthers out there will sit in their basements, a little bit like me, practicing or telling you how to practice your prepping pantries, how to fuel your mind with information about the elites and their agendas that are not necessarily in the best interests of humanity. But sometimes you have to come out and you have to make a stand and you have to get your voice in amongst the unison of the other voices that are here. And you know, many people that are here today probably have lots and lots of things to say. Many of them have all been affected one way or another from this, and that is why you're seeing this solidarity, why you're seeing these people uniting. And differences of opinions and backgrounds are being put aside for the common cause and the singular unifying enemy that we all face, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly Kibo, hello darling. Hello there, Kelly Kibo. That was just for you, and that's a little playful fun thing amongst Thrift Fam viewers, not a racial slur by anyone. Hats off to Apu Mahasapedala Pidalon from The Simpsons, bringing back political correctness gone wrong. We need more Apu in our life. But anyway, we are here reporting on this the best we can with the abilities that I have at my disposal to produce so. And lucky enough, and like Scuba Dracula that we were chatting to, I have over 1,000 subscribers and I can go live from these events. And wow, look at this lady, she's got her Sunday dress on for sure. And again, you know, this is what I'm seeing. There's an Asian lady there, there's a white lady there, there's a black lady there. There's all sorts of people represented. There's not one common denominator other than the fact that we're all human beings, we're all concerned, we're all trying to get information, and this is the way we obtain our information, and we can share that information with you. So anyway, interesting, and here's the guy that was talking when we first come out at the beginning with his girlfriend over there in a very, very interesting uniform and outfits. Looks like something from a Prince video, 1984 perhaps, not 1984, 1999. It was the Eurythmics that sung 1984 Sex Crime. Remember that one? That actually accompanied the movie of the same name, 1984, that was filmed in Rawdon at an RAF base just outside of my hometown of Swindon in the United Kingdom. And she does look very elegant and dapper there. And as I said, it's like their Sunday best. People are putting on their glad rags to come to these things, and I'm not looking too shabby at all. So as I said, I'm just enjoying a little bit of a sit down in some shade from the sun. It's not that strong, but I am in black jeans and I do have a body warmer on, which for the first time in a long time, I'm actually overdressed. So that's a good thing. I'd rather be too hot than too cold. A couple of ladies there come out, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the warmer weather, being able to not wear a jacket. And here are the cars. So 1 hour and 43 minutes, guys. We're going to keep going for as long as we can. No immediate rush or desire whatsoever to leave this event. I got nothing to do, nowhere to be other than go home and get back in my basement. That's what I'm saying, YouTubers. If you've got a channel and you know there are protests going on in your city or town, get out and record. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. If you have no subscribers, each and every one of you watching me right now has the ability to upload videos to YouTube. Do so. Go out, record things in your neighborhood. Maybe if you don't want to go out and record things, sit at home, make a little video, voice your concerns, upload that shit. We've got a Facebook group. You've got a platform here. I'll try and get you some subscribers, some views and some backers. Can't promise you viral figures or anything like that, but sometimes just getting 10 views, just getting 10 subscribers helps in the chain of information. This is what it's about. We have a part to play. Let's use social media as a tool against them. They use it against us. Let's use it against them. Let's use their tools. Fight fire with fire. Let's use the algorithms to our advantage. Let's use sharing and fact checkers to our advantage. The more and more, how can they fact check this is false information? What is false about an actual honest representation of what's going on? Put this on your Facebook feed, put it on your Instagram, put it on your Snapchat or any of the other platforms that you have, because if only one person watches this and likes it, that's another link in the chain of armor of truth and freedom, standing against tyranny, standing against the evil new world order cabal of bankers, their industrialized, their militarized industrial complex that is playing their part in holding us all in place and under control and in perpetual fear. The mainstream media that is part of the new world order propaganda engine, just like the Hitler Youth was used to propagate national socialism in Germany in the 30s. They are using the climate cult. Hey there, come back, sit down under the tree, come and join me. I just think
this guy right here. Hi. Hi. You're
Yeah, he's on my group, right?
Yes. And what? Let's go. This guy's got a YouTube channel now, and I know you're usually outspoken.
yeah, sorry, if you mind, I'm live on YouTube right now. And that's why I said I've seen you. Let me shake your hand, brother. Good work. A little bit what I want to, I've not got the balls to get up there like you. It takes a certain something to do this. Like I said, I'm live on YouTube now. My channel's called Thrift Store Prepper, TSP TV. Last week I set up something called the Toronto YouTubers for Freedom Coalition. As a YouTuber, it's my responsibility to come here and record news as it happens. The mainstream aren't here. The mainstream will use your photograph and make you look as a Yahoo. Look at this guy, he's got a neck tattoo, he's got aviators. He's a Yahoo, he's a whack job.
Don't forget blonde hair.
And the blonde hair. Buddy, if I had hair, I'd be blonde just like you. But what I'm doing here, it's my responsibility. I'm not monetized, I'm not making money, but I can present an honest reporting of what's happened. I can give you a platform larger than the audience here. People now in the States, in the United Kingdom, in Sweden are listening to you, agreeing what we're saying. And through channels like mine and some of the other YouTubers that I've met from Toronto, we can provide the platform to document this. It's about working together, links in the chain, the parts we can play.
I agree 100%.
You are playing an absolute amazing role. I seen you on the first day that I come 3 weeks ago in the rain. I saw you last week in the snow. Up until now, I've been a silent observer, a lone wolf. But we have a pack now. That pack's growing. I don't feel alone anymore. I sit in my basement telling people how to survive and prep at the dollar store, open their eyes to the new world order. The fact that we're in a collective conscious of weight is uplifting. We've got the sunshine, the dopamine, the vitamin D, the energy of this crowd.
All positive.
This is what I'm saying. It's positive. How can the mainstream media portray us as yahoos? How can our government?
That's why they're not here.
That's why they're not here.
If they're here, even if they film from across the street like they did last time to try to give a completely false perception, what are they going to show? People with their dogs, children running around playing, having the time of their lives, and people completely unafraid.
Exactly.
That's what they don't want to show. They don't want to show any type of hope. They don't want to show that people aren't buying the lies and propaganda. So that's why none of them are here, because they worked against them.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That my channel, the other YouTubers, we provide evidence, we provide honest reporting that you guys can inform others on. Your voice gets, after we go home, your voice is forgotten. Not by the people that were here, but no one's going to hear it. On my channel,
I don't think your voice gets
no, his not. This guy's just let the people that are exactly. Just tell everybody who is watching right now who you are, what you're about. I'll give you a couple of minutes.
Hi, my name's Chris Sky from Toronto, Ontario. I started a group on Facebook called #BackToWork. We're 100% against this lockdown. We were told that we needed to get locked down to flatten the curve, which meant that we didn't want to overwhelm our hospitals and healthcare system, based all on models. Models are not science, models are not data, models are simulations created by humans making things up.
Exactly.
That's the reality. So they told us, lock down 2 weeks, give up your rights, freedoms, close your businesses, just stay home. It doesn't sound unreasonable when you hear it. To a smarter person, we all knew that was just their way to get us to shut down, and that they were going to try to extend this and expand it for their own political agenda. Sure enough, here we are, almost, 2.5 months later of their 2 weeks, and we finally got the hospital data in Ontario. We have 500 hospitals, 10,000 beds, and 1,025 people in hospital. So our hospital is at 10% capacity. So that curve they're talking about is about as flat as a dead person.
The curve doesn't exist. The curve is not there. There is
no. The curve was never there to begin with.
Now I was speaking to this lady a little bit earlier. She's a first timer at these events. It's great. More people like her need to come out. But I was saying, this is Chicken Little. This is exactly from the fairy tale and the Emperor's New Clothes. You're an idiot if you can't see the Emperor's New Clothes.
100%. Everything they're talking about is fear-based propaganda.
Exactly.
There's no science to it. There's no science anywhere in the world that shows lockdown saves lives or prevent infections, because it's never been done in the history of the world. Never in the history of the world have we told healthy people that they need to be quarantined. You quarantine the sick and the vulnerable. You let the rest of the people go out and about and develop herd immunity, so you don't end up with second waves, third waves, etc. Look at Sweden, look at Japan. Japan has 200 million people. They never went on lockdown. They had a verbal stay-at-home order telling the people to stay home, but if you want to open your business, they can't stop you. 200 million people, highest population density in the world, 650 dead.
That's not even a drop in the ocean, right? Not. I don't mean to discredit the 650 deaths,
but people die
every day.
Exactly.
And right now in the United States, possibly in Canada, the government are incentivizing. I can't say the word. Regional dialect. Yeah, my T's. I can't say it. Sorry. I'm from England, but I don't be speaking the Queen's English. And fuck that bitch. She's part of the fucking elites that are in prisoners, right? And she's stealing the taxes from Canada as well as the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth was just a rebranded empire.
That's all it is.
And the Commonwealth, exactly, we're human farmed. This is exactly what we are. In Pokemon Go, this was an example of how they can electronically herd us and how they can augment reality. The COVID is augmented reality. There is no fucking virus. It's all perception.
Look at it.
And it's forced perfection.
Yeah, exactly.
We should all be dead. We've been coming here for a month.
Exactly.
And we're in
none of us are there.
We're holding
hands.
shaking hands.
Yeah, shaking hands, absolutely.
And we're all 100% fine. In fact, I guarantee
no
we're healthier than all the people staying home, eating drive-through, not getting any sunshine, breathing in that stale air, wearing masks, which prevent your oxygen intake.
Watching the news.
Watching the news. And getting, that literally makes you sicker, because you're getting nothing but negative energy thrown at you constantly.
And this is the thing, like, if anybody's had the misfortune of possibly being incarcerated in a real correctional facility, they know the symptoms of lockdown and being imprisoned. Normal people who have never experienced that in their life are going through PTSD that prisoners go through. What they are doing, 9/11, it was a psyop from the start. They put us all in place when the first plane hit, right? There were no fucking planes, just CGI,
and bombs.
right? And bombs, that's right. But they told us, they put us in place, they traumatized us with explosions, people jumping, and they implanted the implants of the official narrative from the start before an investigation. But we were traumatized over the course of a day or two that we kept seeing the replays. with this, the people you talk about are at home, are inside, are imprisoned with that fear, and are being force-fed the propaganda, the mind control, the brainwashing. The people most susceptible to brainwashing tendencies in programming are people in fear, people who have just lost their job, people that are afraid of their... How many millions does that categorize right now?
In Canada, it categorizes pretty much all the population. Children are afraid. Parents are afraid. People that need to work, that lost their jobs, are afraid. Business owners are the most afraid. In fact, that's why I made my group called Back to Work, because it's obvious that they want to target small businesses.
Yeah, for real. Because small businesses will... I mean, I'm a chef. I was one of the first wave of non-essentials. That was the first thing they shut down here, bars and restaurants. So like for 10 weeks, I've been out of work, scrubbing a few bucks from what I do on YouTube, from donations that people support what I do. But you're right, it was not about a virus, it was about removing...
If it was about the virus, as soon as they got the data that showed that our hospitals are at 10% capacity, nowhere near being overwhelmed, they would have said, wow, we did so much better than the models predicted. I'm so proud of you guys. Everything can go back to normal. Everyone can go back to work. The crisis is over. Instead, what are they telling us? Now flatten the curve doesn't mean hospital, people in hospital. Now it's about how many people are infected.
Okay, so I'm ending approval.
It makes absolutely no sense. And the reason they want to destroy the small business in Canada represents 30% of all our jobs. And it's the backbone of the economy and the entirety of the middle class. If you destroy the middle class, you create a political class and a class of government dependence. And now the government no longer serves the people, it rules the people.
Exactly, that's what we're doing.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And
psychological warfare combined with economic destruction so they can bring on this new normal of where you're basically in a feudalistic society susceptible to the will of the political oligarchy, as we see right now.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing. And while everyone's pointing fingers at China, no one's realizing and noticing that we're getting North Korea up in here.
Exactly. Our entire lockdown was modeled after communist China and North Korea. Now they want to go further with the contact tracing and everything else. Exactly. It's literally a communist takeover. When the government is choosing who is essential and who is non-essential, that is literally textbook communism. You're allowed to work, you're not allowed to work. You're allowed to work, you're allowed to work, you're not. No, it doesn't work like that. Everybody's allowed to work. Wisconsin proved that when they sued, won at the Supreme Court, lockdown, and this whole government bullshit and social distancing was all deemed illegal. Overturned. Wisconsin is now open for business. We're going to replicate the same movement here. But the way this ends, every country in the world, the small business owners need to defy the government, open up. If they all open up together on a single day, 100, 200 businesses, nothing the government can do. Any fine they give you is toilet paper. It is going to be thrown out in court. If they dare try to arrest you on your own private property for not committing a crime, the lawsuit that they will be dealt with is going to be devastating, and you will win.
Exactly. We can fill out the courts for years with counter-suits, class action, all that shit. The other thing about shutting down the small businesses, now, as I said, I'm service industry and construction. A lot of these businesses pay under the table. Fact of the matter is no excuse. It happens, and maybe people that work in those industries choose to be under the counter to free themselves from the bankers and the debt and the imprisonment of exactly. And this is what I'm saying. These people still operate a cash system. And when I first started work back in the 1980s in England, at the end of a week on a Thursday, my foreman had a brown envelope with cash money. I got paid it. By the time I was 20 years old and been in the workforce, direct deposit. The banks wanted my money before unlike Canada and the United States, in England, they take your taxes out of your wage packet before you even get a chance. They don't want to risk the chance you're not paying. Let's take it. But cash industries and cash payment is being affected by this, and these are
That's not by accident.
I was talking again to this lady, Soylent Green. Do you remember that movie from the 70s with Charlton Heston? Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, Soylent Green is people. don't just look at the factory and the conspiracy. Look at the society they live in within Soylent Green. The elites, the non-haves, the essential, the curfews, the Beyond Meat plant-based.
Any dystopian futuristic movie from Brave New World, 1984, even ones that are more action like Equilibrium with Christian Bale, they all show a dystopian future with a completely authoritarian government that outlaws any type of human freedom. That's why everybody's here today. Whether they're here because they want the freedom to go outside, the freedom to go to work, the freedom to open their business, the freedom to say no to vaccine, the freedom to have their kids go to a normal school, not a prison. It's all about freedom of choice, because that's what they've taken from us. They've taken the freedom of choice, and now they're trying to cause as much economic destruction as possible, because if you're not independently wealthy and you're dependent on the government to feed yourself, then you'll have to accept whatever conditions they place upon you.
For real. Anyway, man, that is absolutely fantastic. You too. Don't forget Thrift Store Prepper. Check me out on YouTube.
Definitely.
I've given you a platform. You've just been live. People are hearing your voice outside of Toronto right now, and hopefully they will share this. I'll be back next week. The same thing, guys. We've got to sort of stick together, be part of the same. We have to become the industrialized freedom complex, not the industrialized military complex that the media is using us to control us.
It's all about regaining our freedoms. When we regain our freedoms, the fundamental building block of society, everything else will fall into place. And that's why they're doing everything they can to prolong this for their own political agenda, not for our health, not for our safety.
Never let a crisis go to waste. That's exactly. One movie I will rate, Star Wars, is the biggest example of how a shadow government, Palpatine, he controlled the Jedi, he controlled the Trade Federation, he controlled the Republic, he picked every single plot, he put it into place from implementing Order 66 and the clones before they were born to wipe out the Jedi at premature, right? What we have to do as society, we have to be the Ewoks, because the full might of the Galactic Empire, the Death Stars, the AT-ATs, the militarized stormtroopers, were taken down by the fucking Ewoks, the most fluffy and fearless of all of the galaxy. In their combined might and knowledge of the urbanized territory that they lived on in guerrilla tactics, took down that imperial complex.
That's what we're doing now.
Exactly. The Force needs to be with us all now, brother.
It is. Look,
we have
every other day this week it was raining.
Exactly. And the sun's out. And let me just, you remember, execute Order 66, trace the 666. You can't write this shit up, people. Exactly.
They didn't choose that by accident.
That was the fuck you talk.
That was, you know what, guys? Fuck you. We don't care that you're watching. We know you know that we know we're doing. But we're going to do everything to make you look like an idiot for suggesting we are. And this is what we are. We're being the manipulated by propaganda and pulled in. And a lot of people that are staying at home and buying this, they got Stockholm syndrome, yo. They are at home being fed. They are, oh my God, these protesters, they need to die. They are
it's frustrated and violent with us for standing up for them.
Exactly. They are sympathizing with their captors, and they are becoming part of the propaganda machine, because they're the Greta Thunberg bullshit. They opened Jurassic Park too early.
Is
bullshit.
Useful idiots. They're
Exactly.
people that have been manipulated via fear and ignorance to promote an agenda contrary to their own personal interests. Useful idiots.
Exactly.
And if they aren't against lockdown or actively pursuing the end of lockdown, then they are on the side of the government against the people, whether they know it or not.
Divide and conquer. That's how they take it down. That's why it's good to see people uniting. And each and every week there's been a few and foremost,
This was
people.
the biggest weekend.
This was the biggest week.
It's very inspiring.
And something maybe next week that, like, your spokesperson, I'm going to give you an idea how we conduct ourselves as the pack, because we're not lone wolves, we're a pack of wolves now. There are people amongst us here that may not have $1 in their pocket because they're not essential. They may not have had a cup of coffee in the morning to get here, or they didn't have bus fare. We can, as a community, as a movement, start supporting each other by maybe bringing food bags, bring some groceries, bring phone top-ups so people can stay in contact. Hell, bring a pack of smokes for someone who hasn't had a cigarette.
Give people a ride if they need to get here.
People ride sharing, supporters. And the other reason, if we do that, they can't say we're yahoos. They can see us taking care of each other. The government aren't going to take care of each other. If we're in a position that we can bring some ramen noodles and beans to feed someone who hasn't got ramen noodles, if we can give a pack of smokes to someone who's picking off dog ends off the floor because he's too embarrassed to ask for a handout, and people can go home and maybe have a meal at the end of the night, maybe have bus fare, maybe can top up their phones so they can keep in contact with their loved ones. This is how we get stronger. This is how we do.
That's actually a very good idea. That's what we did today. We made an event to bring all the kids out here today to show everybody that this isn't the new normal. The normal is having kids playing in the park with each other. We made loot bags for the kids. We bought snacks for the kids. We bought everything to make sure that they have the time of their lives. And
have a normal life.
Exactly.
A real normal, not the new normal.
We are crusaders for the old normal.
Yes, the real normal.
The real normal. And as I said, man, it's about linking the chains, and it's not about, in my case, I'm not here to get likes and shares and smash the thing. I do this for getting a message.
I'm not a political activist.
Me either.
I've never been politically active. I don't care about politics. This is not about politics. It's not left or right. It's not about any political party. This is literally about freedom of choice.
Exactly.
And freedom of being able to run our lives as we see fit and make our own decisions to govern our lives in the best way that we see fit for ourselves, not what the government sees fit for themselves.
It's a little bit of do as we say, not as we do mentality at the minute.
A little bit.
A fucking lot, right? We've had Justin Trudeau going to his cottage, getting his hair cut, but we're not allowed to do that shit. And again, is this them like just flaunting their arrogance?
It's flaunting their arrogance, their pompousness, and they got a taste of power. And now they feel like they're untouchable. And they see that everybody is complying, so they're getting more brazen by the day. If they saw that people weren't complying, they wouldn't have come out with some 3-phase, 6-stage plan that they could extend till never. They would be like, you're opening on this day, because we know that if we don't open on this day, you guys are going to be pissed. You guys are going to show up in numbers, and you guys are going to disobey.
We're getting a little
compliant and apathetic.
They sense that we're getting they sense people are getting antsy too. So because they sense people are getting antsy, they're like, okay, time to pull the exercise, time to pull the plug.
But they're not doing that. They're pretending like they're doing that. They told us they're opening Ontario, but the only things they opened are the golf courses for themselves. They allowed their pool boy, their chef, or their cleaners to come to their house. Right. They're not opening bars. They're not opening restaurants. They're not opening hair salons. They're not opening any small business. Even this guy, Bulldog Supplements, they even sell food products, and they're not allowed to be open. Like I told everybody, if you let the government decide who is essential and who's not essential, you're letting the government pick winners and losers. When you let the government pick winners and losers, everybody loses and the government wins.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here.
And they're serving their masters, not their citizens anymore.
And they're not losing their pay. They're not losing their job.
All small businesses forced to close while supply chains are allowed to remain open.
Yeah, exactly. Like how
supply chains.
Well, Walmart are a very interesting organization in the sense that in the United States, they're a government contractor. A couple of years ago, they were given an incentive that if they employed former military veterans, they would get subsidies from the government. Walmart employed 350,000 former military personnel, its own personal army that it can arm because Walmart sells guns, ammunition. They have 350,000 military trained personnel.
Army in the world except for China, Russia, and US.
That is a pretty sizable army. Now, not only that, they were part of the Say Something, See Something campaign when the Patriot Act was introduced. We're going to see a pandemic act very similar to that on a global scale.
Oh, for sure. They're already trying to set up the UN Pandemic Fund.
Exactly.
And they're asking for every country to give up 10% of their GDP as funding every year to this global pandemic fund. It's the beginning of the world government, obviously.
It is. This is the beginning of the progression to the one world order. Well, there you go, man.
That's what government is. It's a parasite that drains the people.
Yeah, it is. And
government's a necessary evil, but it needs to be severely limited in size, scope, and
Everyone
power.
should give what they can.
And whenever they start to show that they're trying to give themselves more power or erode your rights or freedoms, you have to stand up right away and put a stop to it, or it's just going to go and go and go. And if you give them an inch, they're going to take 3 miles, not a mile.
Exactly. Well, something I was talking about before I started chatting to these guys, that this is hallowed soil in respect to the stand up against tyranny. This was Toronto's Tiananmen Square during the G20 when innocents were rounded up and taken to detention center. Now today the police are very well behaved.
The police are only well behaved because we have the numbers and we have groups of children and old ladies. If there was me, you, and just a few other people in this park, they would have surrounded us, they would have ticketed us, they would have manhandled us, they would have physically removed us, and they would have made examples of all of us. They're only being like that because they have no choice, not because they want to. Proof? Go try to talk to any of them. Go try to shake one of their hands. Walk up to any of them and say, I appreciate what you're doing, and try to shake their hand. They'll give you a dirty look and they'll back away.
Right.
They won't even talk to you, let alone touch you.
That's what I'm saying. How long is it going to be before they come here in their numbers?
They'll never have the numbers that they need to subdue us. And if they tried, they would just bring more people to the cause, because what is everybody doing? We're 100% peaceful. We're even social distancing. And we're enjoying life like we're supposed to be.
That's right, and this is again how we portray ourselves, and by doing and recording this coverage unfiltered, live in real time, you can see the people that are here are not in the mindset that we would be portrayed as by the media. You can see for yourself that this is normal, you know, people sitting down here on the benches, people having conversations, people exchanging phone numbers and information.
People, the main thing you got to notice is people are smiling.
Yeah.
And there's positive energy.
And that's the first thing that I noticed when I come here, that I've been kind of abiding by force by, and this is another very influential individual in this campaign, in this movement, and just what we're saying, the first time I come here wasn't the best weather, but I went away on a high, because I almost cried a few times because of the emotion and feeling the sense of belonging, the fact that we're not alone. And like you're saying today, people are smiling. We're going to go home tonight, probably have the best night's sleep of the week. We're going to feel not so alone in the world. We're going to feel that we have a voice. We're not mental or crazy for thinking maybe that this is a lie. We are part of a pack now that is growing. We're not lone wolves. We're not lone voices. The more voices, the more eyes, the more ears. Not one person can see it all, but together we can represent what is actually going on in honest reporting of the news events.
When you have a genuine cause, the truth is contagious.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we have.
That's what we want to get to the people that are watching this, that we want this to be contagious. We want people to watch this and think, fuck me, there's some interesting individuals, there's some information. I need other people they don't want to see these Jurassic Park and the buildings on fire. Let's go in now, the flames. That's part of the propaganda. Do you know you have professors of memology, people who are scientifically studying how to create memes that will accurately create a desired response.
Of course,
and these
social engineering.
there are bots and shills and government agencies of agents that may no longer be field active, are in offices with fake Facebook, Instagram, social media accounts that are posting the propaganda. They're the ones that would attack us. I have a small non-monetized channel. I have a little viewer base that are watching now around the world that know that this is honest reporting. And I've not filtered it. I've let people have their say, and the information that you guys are saying is information I agree with, and information that needs to be heard and isn't going to be heard unless people can find a way of getting this out. We can use social media against them. If you know how to trigger algorithms, if you know how to start aggravating news feeds and stuff like this, if 100 people share one video, and everybody that comes here today has the ability to make a video. You don't have to filter it, you don't have to edit it, you don't have to go home and make it fancy. Just record for 5 minutes. That provides hours and hours of footage that can portray this as it actually was, and let the message go out unfiltered until they do censor us. And
that
it's going to happen.
It even more powerful.
Even more powerful. And you've some censorship on YouTube. I heard what you were saying about the Hitler. They were just doing their job in the Nazi reference. Last year I got a YouTube video removed for hate speech because I looped wrote the Greta Thunberg "How Dare You." I put that soundtrack over Hitler at the Brandenburg rally, giving his finger, "How dare you," and it fitted so unbelievably. I didn't even have to line it up; it just fitted. Something else I want you to do, right, when you go home. Get a picture of Greta Thunberg, get a picture of Hitler, and go to a face swap app. They could be clones. Nazi technology was experimenting with clones back there. Did they build clones of Hitler to bring back the message of the Fourth Reich? The United Nations are not a controversion. They are the unified Nazis. They are the Fourth Reich waiting to happen. The climate cult are the Hitler Youth. These people are propagating that part. That is going to be the religion for the one world order. This is why we're seeing Family Guy attacking reality, because the people at home under the program and under the mind control are susceptible to the social engineering now more than ever. They're not going out, they're not talking like we are amongst people. They're not having.
They want to shut it down.
They watch TV, and there's a reason they call it TV programming. There's a reason they call it a cell phone. It imprisons us. It tracks us. We're already being traced and tracked. They're just using the Trace Act as a way to make it legal in public, so that it covers them back. And more enhanced. So
and more invasive.
Anyway, listen, don't let me keep you, but you can talk for as long as you want, man. I don't want to shut you up, because this is kind of giving me a hard-on for the truth. This is contagious. There's fitness trainer giggling over there. Now you come to the first time. Are you experiencing the euphoric feeling we're talking about?
You know what? Honestly, I just feel like who I really am.
Exactly.
This is what I'm like all the time anyway. Like I talk to people.
Have you been feeling alone in this, in terms of your thoughts? No?
No, absolutely not. No. If anything, I've found more people that are like.
And
I'm
as you
alone,
said,
but I never feel lonely.
that's what I was saying. You know, I was a lone wolf until I come here, and now we're part of a pack that's growing. And you know, maybe next week we come here. Let's start introducing ourselves. Let's get on first name terms. Let's fucking sing Kumbaya if we have to. Hold hands and show that we're not afraid. We don't care about socially transmitted diseases because they're not real. The sky isn't falling.
No, I definitely did not feel afraid when this came out. Not at all. Not
traveling off to Asia, Hong Kong, Philippines, Thailand, Paris. We were in Italy when they started lockdown. We were in Venice, actually. So we were in Paris. We were all over freaking Europe when the pandemic started. People were calling me, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, I'm literally shopping right now. You're fine. Outside, there's nothing going on here. I'm like, oh my God, the protests in Hong Kong. And I'm like, dude, there's no protests. Like, we're here. Looking at the city, like, it's normal.
And this is the thing. The real lies realize the real lies, right? As they say. And it's the real people like myself that can come here and portray this in real. You're a real person. You have thoughts and opinions. You have concerns, as does everybody here. Should we be ridiculed? Should we be tarred with a brush by government for maybe defying what they're saying?
Or told to go die?
Or told to go by our neighbors. And, you know, I was talking about being imprisoned earlier. These people ratting out their neighbors, if this was a real incarceration facility and they were ratting out their inmates, they don't want to be going to the showers because they ain't coming out with an asshole intact. That's it. And that's the best case scenario, right? Hello.
Hi guys, everyone. Do you know about the Chart of Health Freedom?
I think I just signed that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I signed it already.
Oh, I don't think I signed
it. Okay, whoever has it, this is great. We have at least 100K before this pandemic happened, and we need, you know, I guess more than to slap the government in the face. Like, come on.
They need more in the slab.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we all need to get into politics because it's been hijacked by.
Let me stand up.
I'll work for Chris.
It's been hijacked.
Everyone second.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been hijacked, you know.
I don't like to do a better job.
Oh, I know you can.
Well, we are. Politics starts at a grass level with the people.
Yes.
government should be a servant of the population, not the servant. We're not the servants to them.
Yeah.
And this is a grass movement political stance.
Was made to protect us from the
Canadians are too complacent.
That is very true. I mean,
Canadians are too complacent.
I lived in the United Kingdom, I've lived in the United States, I've lived in Canada for nearly 9 years now, you know.
We'd rather work
and
than protest.
Canadians there's a concession, you know, oh, they're so nice up there, those lovely Canadians, you know, they leave their door open. And that's because Canadians are programmed to be that way. And you can't escape the social engineering no matter who you are, where you are. There's always going to be an element of social.
Every country has a tone for their people.
And there is a root to stereotypes, right? And but this is what you see, that Canada now has been a little bit more forthcoming than the United States in these movements. It's not just Toronto, we've got Ottawa, we've got Vancouver, Alberta. These movements are starting. They started with a few guys. They started with a guy who had an idea on Facebook. Now, all ideas that we have that can support this are all great ideas, right? They're on the chains. And fuck me, I've lost where I was going then. But you kind of go take a dump towards footstep. But as I said, we are a political movement in this infancy. We are maybe
a political movement based off of necessity,
exactly,
genuine cause, and that's unique, because every other political movement that exists today is based on a political agenda or personal gratification. We have no agenda. Our agenda is freedom, and our agenda is stopping all the illegal actions that are being done to us.
Take the money out of politics.
There you go. There's a guy with his bucket of weed again.
End the corruption.
Yes, please. Would you do me a favor and just hold that while I do? Thank
Ready
you.
to go?
Oh, am I taping?
Yeah, it's recording. It's live on YouTube right now.
Oh, excellent. Oh, there's Mr. Marijuana. Mr. Marijuana. Look, I dressed like you today. We're dressing nice because we're not yahoos.
There you go. You're in your Sunday best. Do you mind if I get a little...
Of course I am.
So let me pretend we're on the radio. So who are you wearing?
Who am I wearing?
Yeah, is that some Vera Wang? Where's your Jimmy Choos? You're going barefoot, and I don't blame you.
I am a model.
If you just open your nose, I'd like to.
Well, you are very stunning, and look at you. You look like you should be in a Prince video.
I like to be natural, so I'm also a yoga, practice yoga and meditation, like a hippie girl.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say, you've got bare feet there, and you've got to love it. I was just going to say, this is natural grounding. You're getting your vitamin D, you're connecting to nature. We're under a tree, breathing in the fresh oxygen.
The energy of these lovely people.
Exactly. The collective conscious is intoxicating. And as I say, I think everybody that comes here is getting a little bit more momentum.
Can you show this to your audience that they need to go to this website, print their own charter, read it up on it? Because the only way we can actually have freedom of choice in our own healthcare is to entrench in the charter.
I agree. Let me just get that bit for you. They can pause it when they're ready. Thank you very much. And who are you again? Just tell everybody.
Judy, Mom, and Model.
There you go. Thank you, Judy. And doesn't she look beautiful, ladies and gentlemen?
Hi, I'm here with MIT.
So anyway, guys, I think, let me have a little walk away from this for a second, because we've been going. Oh, wait. Sorry.
This is the show.
Okay, let me sit back down. You know what?
Do you mind signing while he's doing his show?
Let me put this down. My arm's getting...
Yes, sir. He's dressed in his Sunday best.
Yeah, definitely. Be in touch. Look me up.
He's dressed in his Sunday best. I want to...
He looks like the Men in Black.
He does.
Excuse me, that's I'm here with MIB Section 9. Please stay calm and open your mouth while I spray this perfectly innocuous substance. I assure you that I'm qualified to say it's perfectly good for you and will prevent absolutely nothing from happening.
Really?
Yes, please cooperate now so we don't have to use force.
Oh my God! Say no! Oh, of course not. Here, put it on my ass.
Wow! What are you doing this afternoon? We can have some fun.
That way.
And what are we looking at here?
Put it up my ass.
Awesome. And what is it exactly?
This is Bach Rescue Remedy from flower.
Yeah, I think I've used it before.
We take flowers like Star of Bethlehem and anise and other gentle flowers that are known to have the frequency vibrations that restore humanity ourselves and distract us away from the distractions and back to the center of focus.
Fantastic. I'll take a hit.
And with that, I now take off my shoes to get grounded and exchange the negative ions that can only be exchanged through the soles of your feet. 40% of all your detoxification happens through the soles of your feet. If you don't earth, then all the radiation,
you know what?
Fluoride.
And that's why I'm able to drink so much.
It's all good.
That's why I'm able to drink so much.
Is making us sick.
Hang on, it is. There you go, guys. There's my pasty white feet. Let's get out and let's ground.
Nice.
So, tell us a little bit more about your product. I'd take a hit gladly.
My product. This was invented by Dr. Richard Bach.
I've used it, I think, on long-term flights.
Guy's first name wrong. Dr. Bach.
Okay.
He was the creator of homeopathy.
Right.
Him and his son had severe autism as a child. It was in our modern retro forensic perspective as medical scientists, we can know that by the behavior he exhibited, he exhibited signs of autism. Now, the city he grew up in had mercury and lead in the water because of the lead pipes left over from the Roman Empire. Now, he took his son and walked all the way to the southern tip of Italy, crossed to Greece, across to Africa, back up through Europe. When they came back, they co-founded the School of Homeopathy. They walked barefooted all the way through Europe and South and Africa and back up through Europe, back to their home country. And the lead and mercury poisoning from the lead pipes left over by the Roman Empire that had been toxifying and made his son autistic. His son came back and co-founded the School of Homeopathy. Homeopathy is called the science of opposites. Naturopathy is the science of similars. Similars like this. For instance, we've all observed those beautiful dangling flowers that are thick and lush and red that trail on the ground quite often. They're used as embellishments in beautiful garden landscapes. This is called bloodwort. Bloodwort cleans your blood, and if you have a wound that's this long and this wide, gushing blood, if you grab one of those big strands of clotted looking blood and shove it in there instantly, within 60 seconds, the wound will have stopped bleeding.
Wow. Natural healing, right? There's always a way.
Now, the science of opposites is this. This is a Bach remedy, which is homeopathy, which is similars. Because the flowers in this are all positive, high energy vibrations. Helichrysum, Star of Bethlehem, anise, rose, and so on. The flowers are placed in a bowl in the sun with water. At the end of the day, they're strained and the water is mixed with brandy, half and half, cognac, and they put it in these bottles. If someone is tired, asleep, anxious, hungry, anything that's causing them a sense of distress because it reminds them of other times in their life, to restore the natural harmony that allows abundance to flow to us and from us in the universe. We can do so with flowers. That's why flowers are so beneficial to everything and essential for all life on the planet. No, 5G radiation, aluminum oxide, all that stuff, destroying the bees.
These are very essential to life.
They're reducing our brain's ability to think, causing us to be susceptible to ignition by microwave transmission and mind control by frequency modulation. The Canadian embassy in Cuba was attacked with a beam energy weapon. This was in the news. Look it up. It's still there. They haven't deleted this yet. Now, that embassy was closed as a result. Note, the American embassy was not. Because the American government has already been fully infiltrated by the communists. This is the post that I put on Facebook that caused everything to get attacked. My computer hard drive was shattered, but burned out. I fortunately have backups on backups on backups and backups and backups and backups and backups because I am a former military and intelligence analyst. I have 187 IQ. My name is David Christopher Sullivan. I'm hiding in plain sight. I am not anonymous. I am here to tell you that we are under attack by the most pernicious and evil threat to the very goodness that is life. Unless we stand together and stop it now, more and more and more people would go through needless suffering. Right now, the orphanage I support in Kenya was approached a week ago by NWO, Chinese Communist Special Forces soldiers with so-called doctors trying to force test and FEMA camp the entire orphanage. Their excuse was, you asked us for help because you don't have any money to feed your kids. So I sent them as much as I could, and I asked others too as well. They were able to pay their bills, buy food, put gasoline in the motorcycles to load the food on and carry it to higher grounds because of flooding, which is what the Chinese are also weather causing, the NWO. I hate to see the Chinese people are wonderful people. This all is going to get blamed on them. Anyone with Asian features is going to get blamed for the black genocide and the Muslim genocide, which is going on right now. From the first day of the COVID-19 announcement by the Chinese in Wuhan, the largest incinerator crematorium ever created in history, the gas cloud of human remains covered an area of over 300,000 square kilometers and is still operating right now. They are shoveling human beings into ovens as we speak, and no one's doing anything about it unless you do.
Fantastic. So we are actually live on YouTube right now, and I'm so glad I didn't walk away. Say who you are again so my viewers can...
My name is David Christopher Sullivan, Soulcatcher on Facebook. I run Cognitive Dissonance. There's several of them, but you'll recognize mine by the crazy cat in the visual distortion field. Anyway, and the woman who's very surprised to see her own foot sticking up out of a swimming pool. I've never changed it because it's the most surprising cognitive dissonance of all. And my name is also David Kindsoul Wayshower. I'm a scientist. I am a healer. I was fully trained to be I'm fully trained in many practices. I'm not going to get into it right now. But God bless us all. One thing I do know, after all that, I just qualified myself. And I think you know what I really am talking about. It makes sense. Truth brings the truth.
It does. The body can resonate what is true and what is lie.
If you're struggling with this video, folks, look, take it. Everybody needs to download this video before they delete it. Okay? Now, 4K video downloader is what I use, but use whatever you want. Now, the point is, we all need to back this up on our hard drive so we can continuously re-upload it to the internet so they can't shut us down.
Exactly.
They can shut down the internet, but they can't shut us down.
The more people, they shut one down to repeat the message.
Needs to get on Tor browser and Brave.
Yes, indeed.
Because they are
I use Brave.
They're fully encrypted. They use TunnelBear. It's military grade. Nobody can break in. Nobody can monitor what you're doing or tell you where you are, who you are, unless you put your information on a public website like Facebook. So everybody go out and make up a new email and a new Facebook for backup. And start writing down and printing out every contact you have, every phone number, email, name, and address of every single person you know. On Facebook, on email, go through it all. Then start contacting them all. But get it all written down because they're going to shut down the net.
Exactly.
Or they won't, because now we're giving you the heads up. Notably, every time I've noticed things like when they shut me down after I announced the Cuba thing, John F. Kennedy really was assassinated by the communists.
Well, there you go.
There it was. There it is. John F. Kennedy was actually assassinated by the communists so they could infiltrate America.
Part of the plan because he stood up against the evil cabal.
LSD was introduced by Timothy Leary. He was a sleeper agent for the communists. It was to fuck up the entire peace movement.
It was the hippie, the CIA, the Laurel Canyon, the Doors, Janis Joplin.
But the CIA is our people. Understand, I worked with these people for 30 years. And
there's some shit going down in the CIA right now.
We're trying to handle a situation that's out of control. You don't understand.
Well, I understand.
Well, no, but you don't. Okay, you don't understand. There's much more going on here than you realize. And many good... Look, do you really think a decorated military officer who served and received medals that are not on any wall or any record anywhere, a real deep covered person who has helped save as many people as he can, has hunted human traffickers, okay? I was a hunter-killer, human trafficker. I walked into a warehouse where they got the heads up because of the leaks in our organization that allowed them to know we were coming. They killed 400 children. Those children were being shipped to Dubai, the human trafficking pedophile capital of the world.
Anyway, thank you very much once again. Can I get a little squirt of your thing before you go? Let's give it a go. How's the other thing? Hang on.
Coconut oils pulling will restore all your teeth.
Wow, that almost tastes a little bit like liquor.
It is.
It is.
Liquor? You brought it.
Anyway, thank you very much for your message, brother. Hopefully more people will pay attention, find you, and if you do, say TSP TV sent you. Thank you, my friends.
Yes,
and I'm going to ground myself a little bit longer and get some sunshine. So guys, as you can see, most people are beginning to leave and disappear. What's going on here?
They target people like
There's some nice. Let's look at the weed here, guys. Look at that beautiful so yeah, that was interesting. I'm not sure what they're doing now. I did see a dude with what looked like a little plant. I don't know if or not these guys are giving away free weed, but let me come and sit. Look, now you can see it's pretty empty here. I'm going to come sit down over on here and finish up, I think, guys. This was the longest I have recorded at the I'm trying to get some shade, that's why, so I can read your comments. That's what I'm trying to do. If I come around this side, perfect. There's still 17 watching, 26 thumbs up. Excuse me, guys, I am shaking a little bit. The arms are getting a bit tired. As I said, guys, 2 hours 34 minutes of unedited, unfiltered, actual real news reporting of this event. It's probably been my favorite so far. We've made some connections, we've joined some dots, we've obtained some fantastic information from very different individuals here that are all on the same page to arm us with the information we need to prepare our minds, bodies and souls for what we are up against. So let me see if I can get a couple of your comments. Okay, Shah, cool. And Jimi Hendrix, Henley, yes. I don't know what you guys have been making of this event today, but honest to goodness, each and every week I come to these, I get a little bit more glad that I did, and very much so today. What a wonderful experience, the sunshine, the warmer weather, the good sense of solidarity amongst a vast array of people here. And as I said, I'm giving people a platform to speak on. I'm not going to give, any thoughts or opinion on what they say unless I do. And there you go, stinky feet. You want to rub my foot? Go on, give it a hit. There you go. He slapped my stinky foot. Fantastic. So as you can see, guys, most people are beginning to disappear. I might go and walk across the road perhaps and smoke a joint. There is a couple of cops over there that did push people away last week. I'm guessing the little girls with the booty and boobs over there by the weed plant are part of the little organization there that is bringing the weed out in that shopping cart or wheelchair, what it looks like to me. I'm not sure what they're doing, if they're giving away free weed or something. Little plants perhaps, but as I said, we are getting a little bit few on numbers of the people left here. And there's the little lady with her petition and her Sunday best there. She was a fun and lovely little individual, as was everybody I think we spoke to today. Unfortunately, I was about to speak to Emily Round, fellow Torontonian YouTuber there, when the little fitness instructor began our conversation, and that was what started this all off. We spoke to one of the main organizers of this event, and I had a good chat with him and the people he was with, and everyone I think we talked to today has brought quite a lot of information, good information here. Hey, crying hippie, you just get into the and I love this live. It has a lot of insightful people. Thank you there, Marty. And as I said, that is what I feel is possibly my part to play. I am a YouTuber. Most time I'm in my basement making videos for you to enjoy and watch and maybe inform you a little bit. But since 3 weeks ago, I have been coming to this event. I have been recording it live. Crying Hippie did say, I think either last week or the week before, that I was possibly the only person reporting live at the time. I don't know how many people were reporting live today, but as I said, I'm getting the message out, I'm getting the information out, I'm giving the people that come and speak here, some of the people that don't come and speak here, a platform to make their voice be heard. Not only that, I'm giving the people that come to these and speak and stand up on this statue that I'm now sat on here, a little bit of a wider audience than just those that can make it. And as we were kind of chatting with Scuba Dracula earlier, that the people might not be able to make it here for a number of reasons, not because they just don't want it or they're too lazy. Maybe they are financially affected, maybe for lots of reasons they don't have a ride, they don't have things like that. And that's why they are unable to get down here. I do actually got a spliff, as I said, that I wanted to try and smoke. I'm not sure if I should spark it up here, but there were other people smoking marijuana, so you know what, maybe I will try to do that, and then we will try to head home. So I've actually got my phone resting on my knee right now. I used a different selfie stick. I actually bought the tripod that the girls at work bought for me for Christmas, and it actually seemed to work a lot better than the selfie stick. And again, I don't have any equipment, I don't have stabilizers or Wi-Fi enhancements. I'm running this off my mobile data. There's a big sack of footballs I guess they brought for the kids. Where did I put my lighter? There's always something. Here it is, I got it. Yeah, that dude over there, he's smoking some weed. So that's how we're gonna play out and finish this up. So some different languages going on there. Let's just say goodbye. They're leaving. There's one of the guys. I will try and get you a link for him. You can check him out on Facebook. He's got a lot of information today. And we did speak to some major players of this organization. Sorry for the shaky camera then, but as I was saying, guys, I don't got a stabilizer, I don't got a fancy outside broadcasting camera, I don't got a microphone, and unfortunately this week I did lose my backup phone, which I did have all my TSP files and everything like that. Stored on sorry, that went down a little bit the wrong way. So we talked to models, we talked to fitness instructors, we talked to fellow YouTubers, we got ourselves a free hug, and we had a very interesting, don't even know what to say, but that guy that we were just speaking to, I've even forgotten his name right now, was so kind of taken in by his presence and what he had to say. He was a very interesting character, check him out. And as I said, we have seen a vast variety of interesting individuals here today. So try and get some more comments up. Go to the weed guy. Honestly, Crying Hippie, I was just over there a second ago. I want to sit down and have a break. He's been here a couple of times. They weren't here last week because of the weather. Possibly, maybe if I do, but I just wanted to I've been holding the camera up, I've been walking around on my feet. I just kind of wanted to sit down after the last 2 hours, 40 minutes. But you've seen history, guys. Maybe not the most memorable of historic events, but I brought you a newsworthy historic event. And as I said, a political route at its grass roots. Am I going to become more active and vocal in this? I don't know. But I did link with some individuals. We're getting on first names terms with these people when we come back next week. perhaps, who knows, maybe I will get up onto the stage and say a few pieces. But, hopefully some of the ideas I shared with these guys that are organizing and are vocal spokesperson of this movement might take on board a little bit of what I had to say and maybe address that last week. We are coming together. We are providing links in the chains, and we are all playing our part. My part, I feel, is to come here and provide you with honest, unfiltered, unbiased coverage of this event the mainstream isn't doing, and not only that, I have provided 2 hours 40 minutes of evidence that will contradict any mainstream narrative of these events. So as I said, guys, we've seen some faces here. Some people spoke to me. Some people were recognizing me. I'm not a lone wolf anymore. You guys aren't lone wolves. I would love for you to get on that stage. Sorry, guys, I don't know why I'm shivering a little bit. Maybe it's nerves. Maybe it's just the adrenaline of the excitement, perhaps, of the situation. This has been one of my most enjoyable experiences as a YouTuber, because I've actually got out of my basement and I've brought you real news. I've interacted with the real people and the players in this. I've given them a voice and a platform that the mainstream won't. Hopefully they can find me. Hopefully they'll come and watch this stream. You guys now, you have to go and share it. Exactly what we've been saying. You can be the tool. The part you play is you've watched this now. Now try and get at least one more person to watch this. Share this to wherever you can on your social media. I'm going to try and put my shoes back on because I'm not grounded anymore. And if we are asked to move by the police, I'm good to go, and there's a chance they might do so because I am still smoking weed. 18 people still watching, guys. It's almost a shame to end this little live feed, but it's gone way beyond the 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock time zone, I think. Although there's no real kind of speakers of that, it is people that have just come out and are hanging around, chatting to each other. I can see an interesting conversation going on over there. A couple of people stuck around. The little lady, there's some yellow vests from Hamilton, I believe. So the numbers have gone. Let's start making our way across the street, perhaps. And that's a nice way in. Let's have a last little walk around and see who's here. Before we do head off, one last round. We were here when there were hundreds of people. This person is still there with their yellow vests with their sign. These guys have been around for the duration. Another lady there in her Sunday best, looking very, very nice. I'm guessing they may be flower children from the 60s. These guys here, sharing their information. Last few remnants of, let's not call them protesters, let's call them freedomists. And maybe, guys, if you're watching this and you agree with me, freedomists might be something we should start hashtagging. Like I say, guys, we can use their tools against them. I don't want to get too close to the police with the marijuana. Although it is legal, this is government property that we are stood on, local government. And you can see what a beautiful, beautiful day here in downtown Toronto. And I'm almost tempted to keep walking and see how long we go before we buffer. And that is the trouble when you do these outside broadcasts and you rely on mobile data. You kind of switch between cell towers and stuff. But we are in the core of downtown. This is a government building. I'm pretty sure their cell coverage and network is pretty strong. And just ahead of us is actually University of Toronto. So let's start walking down that way. Maybe we'll continue this a little bit longer because it is a beautiful day. Not really in any rush to go home. Although it would be nice to go and maybe get a little bit of sunshine while there is some in the sky. You can see last week there weren't so many leaves on the trees. And let's just pan around. There is the Queen's Park building ahead of us. The leaves are coming through. There's some nice cherry blossom over there. And let's last one look at the people that come out today for this Toronto lockdown protest. So let's not finish up. Let's just keep going until the stream cuts. My spliff's gone out. Hold on. Let's do it when I get across the road. So no cars coming, and as you can see, some very interesting parts of Toronto. Still got 16 folks watching. Actually, let me come and sit down over here on this little shaded area. Not sure what this is all about. And I actually used to work just across the street there in the sick kids hospital that you may be able to see come into view in a second. And I also worked inside the general hospital. I worked in 2 hospitals in Toronto since I've been here almost 9 years. And when I was in the sick kids hospital, I worked at a restaurant called the Blue Fig, which is no longer there. And I was there for nearly 18 months. So you can possibly, I'm not sure if you can make out too much in the distance there, what we're looking at. And as I said, I'm trying to kind of wedge this tripod on my knee for you. I can't read your comments, but the hospital, the general hospital, and the sick kids are there. On this side is Mount Sinai Hospital. So there's 3 hospitals within your view right now. And can you hear any ambulance sirens? Can you see sort of any people making their way towards there? Do you see anyone in your immediate view that looks as though they might be affected? Still people are beeping in the distance over there. Oh my God, this fucking dude looks like Charlie Brown. Can you see him there? It's just not bold, but there you go. He's got his little Charlie Brown outfit on and looks very much like Charlie Brown. So as I said, this is the Queen's Park subway station just over there, and you can go down those stairs to get on the subway, and I could do that and make my way back home. But what I'm going to do is we're going to start walking that way. That's west, that is south as you're looking, that is east, and north is behind us where we just come from. And as you can see over there, hardly anybody is left, just a few stragglers, I guess, that just like me don't really want to go home. So as I said, we found a few connections today, and let's try and read some of your comments. I love this. I can see Canada and not go. Again, you're getting a little bit of a virtual tour of Toronto here. Was great to see everyone. Got to run. Great day in North America today. So thank you. Was that Jim Williams? I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, brother, please share this. Get the information out. You watched it live. Let others catch the rerun, because there was a lot of information there that not only is going to affect people here in Toronto, but is also going to affect people around the world, because we're all affected. We're not infected, we're affected by this pandemic. And who knows, maybe I even schooled a couple of the people that did attend that. So I finished my spliff. It's actually a little bit chilly in the wind out there. So I mean, what I kind of said to the guy with the blonde hair, whose name I forgot, the tattooed neck, and as I said, you know, you might look at this guy and pass judgment on him before you heard what he had to say, but when he started talking, he was probably one of the most intellectual, awake individuals you could possibly have the desire to talk to. Same with our lovely little fitness instructor there. I wonder if she'll give me some fitness lessons in the not so distant future. I did sense there might have even been a little bit of chemistry there, Thrift Fam. Let me know if you agree with that. Certainly you mod crew, you know, the TSP crew that we've got, our little message board that we chat on pretty much daily through all of this. Tell me if I was right in thinking that. Someone on a little electric scooter over there. There's a streetcar. So we are walking down towards the university, so I'm trying to do this so it doesn't bounce as much for you guys. And I notice we've only got 12 people watching, but while we can still, there's a streetcar here, so while we can still record and we've got the stream and we are up there, why not just keep going? So we're going to head down towards Chinatown, and funny enough, we could almost walk down to Queen and Spadina, Crying Hippie. You can tell the viewers all about Queen and Spadina in the G20 Kettling event if you want. Pretty sure you have some information on it. And let me point it over there a little bit. There's some beautiful architecture. And Look, here's one for you. It's me, and in the background, there's the Canadian CN Tower. Can I zoom in on that for you? There she is. People don't actually realise it's a very, 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 very tall pyramid. It is triangular and it's got three prongs that hold it up. So let me try and zoom out again. I'm having difficulties here. Right, I don't know if that's still zoomed or not. Pedestrian crossing. 16 again. So as I said, guys, I don't have a stabilizer or anything. We might even be recording in low quality. I should put my glasses on actually. But I don't know where they've gone. So like I say, guys, this is a little bit of an extended tree. Okay, guys, so it seems when I walk too far away, we do lose the stream. So unfortunately, we're not going to do a little walk down into Chinatown like we once did. So pretty good iconic thing to finish it up on, and that way I can say goodbye and finish up this live feed in a decent manner rather than just having it cut off abruptly. So hopefully when it does get up and uploaded, it won't be so bad. So there you go, guys. Let's kind of zoom in once again on the CN Tower here, Canadian and Torontonian landmark. A few people walking by. Let's get out of their way and say goodbye. So actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down here for a few minutes because I can just jump on the streetcar when it comes. Can we still see the tower? Yeah, there we go. So I'm trying to get the tower in image. I am shaking a little bit. As I said, the arms are getting tired from holding it up for the last 3 hours, but I'm going to try and keep going for a few minutes more. That's not working at all. Let me try and zoom out again. It's got very, very shaky. I'm sorry. Alrighty, that's better. So as I said, let me try and see what we've got now. You guys are saying it was very enjoyable for me, not just because it kind of leveled up in the last few weeks. You may or may not have seen some slight improvements on TSP TV in terms of editing, thumbnails, stuff like that, and even content like this is part of the continued improvement. And as I said, I'm getting myself out of the basement to say, and what we heard and what watched it as it happened should be in the mindset that you want more people to hear this, because if you thought you learned something, then others can learn. And as I said, Crying Hippie, you are one of the individuals that may like to be here, but due to circumstances of a personal nature, you possibly can't be. So I do give you the opportunity that can be here. I can be your eyes for you, as well as your ears. You can see and hear what's going on, and I can provide the voice also for the individuals that are at the event. It's how we work together. You can all learn, and we can all be part of this communication chain. We can all be part of the freedomist movement, and it starts somewhere at a grassroots level. I'm doing my part. I set up the YouTubers for Freedom Coalition. Support that. I try and get Facebook links and stuff there for you. But that's where you can go and watch some of those YouTubers that upload the information here. And that's where you can go and find them. You can support some of the individuals that you've seen today just as much as you support me. And if you do, go and tell them, of course, TSP TV sent you, #Freedomist, #YouTubers for Freedom Coalition. All that would be a very, very, very much appreciated, and my gratitude would be internal to you for doing so. You can play a part as much as I can, and maybe liking and sharing to some people isn't much, but you are part of the communication chain. You are the resistance. We are the rebellion. We are the fucking Ewoks, guys, that have got to bring down this tyrannical empire that is out to imprison us all. And I can see the streetcar coming over there, so although I did say I was going to round this up at 3 hours, guys, it is as close, as near, as damn it. Thank you for watching this outside broadcast brought to you courtesy of Shit Video Productions for TSP TV. And until the next one, keep it thrifty, and remember, be excellent to each other. Actually, not going to make the streetcar. I thought I would, but never mind. There's probably another one in 2 minutes. So as I said, guys, take care. Thanks for watching. Your support in more ways than one is also internally appreciated. Quite some time. As I said, this was a great experience. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next one. Don't forget, next week, guys, spring break, TSP 2020. Some of you were around this time last year when we bonded. And this year, a year on, we will bond and celebrate as a family. So I am doing my utmost best to get it up to the 3 hour mark, which is only a few seconds away. And I think I can almost see another streetcar. So as you guess, there's an iconic CN Tower. Goodbye from Toronto, folks. Goodbye from Queen's Park. Goodbye from the Blue. And from me, TSP TV. See you in the next one, guys. Take care and keep it thrifty. You've been a great audience, and I'll see you next week in break.